This is Sparta!
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Lethal Geeks podcast, episode 19. I'm Hello, Sergeant Riggs. My partner, please. That way. Introduce yourself.
Charles Sergeant Murtaugh.
And Rock Talks Leo Getz, guys.
Welcome. So, guys, today
we got a very special show for you tonight. But before we get started, as you folks are rolling in, please do hit the like, hit the subscribe, turn on the notifications, all that good stuff helps that algorithm out. We got a very special show for you guys tonight. It is a packed one. We are gonna try and keep it at right around 3 hours, but we have a very, very, very special guest coming up with us soon here. So sit back and enjoy the ride. Come on in.
So before we get started, also rules of the platform. As you all know, this is a safe space. Everybody here, respect everybody, respect the guest, respect the host, or you're banned. Because right here, today, we're celebrating Zack Snyder's Justice League 4-year anniversary with Green Lantern himself, guys. So get ready. Get ready.
Right. Now, before we get into that, I want to bring something up here that was brought to our attention yesterday regarding our chat, our Lethal Geeks Precinct chat. There was some alleged somebody being accused of trolling. So I don't care really who did what, when, where, how, and why. Okay. What I'm here to say is this. We did not build that chat for people to come in and start fights with other people that are Zack Snyder fans and belong to the fandom. That's not what that chat is for. Just like this platform, that chat is for people to come in, talk to us about anything that they want to. Just as we tell you here when we say keep it respectful, you're going to keep it respectful in that chat as well. You're going to keep it respectful on our threads. If you're a James Gunn fan, you're a James Gunn fan. You can come in, you can talk about why you like them. We don't care. This is geek culture. This is why we discuss this stuff. But if you're going to be disrespectful on any one of those 3 platforms that I just named, we have to bounce you because that is not why we are here. We are here for one reason, though. To celebrate and support DC as much as we possibly can, to support especially Zack Snyder. We are all Zack Snyder fans here, obviously, the majority of us. So we ask that you keep it respectful. We all have one goal. That's to see this man's work completed. One goal. That's it. So please stop with the immaturity. I expect everybody to be adults. This is the only time that I'm going to say it. And let's have fun. All right. Tonight is a very, very special night. So let's get it. Costello.
Awesome. All right. Awesome. So let's just let's say hi to the chat real quick. So let's see here. Sergeant, how you doing?
Awesome. Welcome, Sergeant. Dennis.
Awesome.
HR4,
how you doing?
Welcome.
Venkata. We haven't seen you.
Venkata, what's up? All right.
So, Phil, real quick, let me just remind the chat, guys, we are doing the giveaway tonight. Wayne is going to be giving away a copy of, 50 Years of Green Lantern John Stewart. So I want you guys to remember that in order to qualify, you need to make sure that you've liked and shared the promotional material on our social media. So if you guys haven't done that yet, there you go. Thank you, Charles.
Right here.
Yep. If you guys haven't done that yet, please get over to our X page, get over to our Instagram page, like it, share it. You'll automatically be qualified. And then that way, once Wayne comes in, everybody in the chat who's qualified, you guys will all go over, click like, do what you got to do. Everybody will be qualified. Wayne can just pick a winner right from our chat tonight. So that's the goal. So guys, make sure you guys do that. Be engaging, have conversations with us, and that's how it's going to go. Wayne will be picking someone right from our live chat tonight.
All right.
All right, gentlemen. So, ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, Mr. Wayne T. Carr.
All right. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Wayne T. Carr.
Who did that? That was dope.
How you doing, man?
I'm so good. How you doing?
All right, I'm very well. It is very, very nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you as well, man.
All right.
But for real though, who did that?
So shout out to Neo7 Marcus. He did
Marcus.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. So
Marcus, if
shout out
you're
to
watching, that's beautiful work, brother.
Dope, man. Thank you.
All love for you today, Wayne. It's all love, man. You know that.
Absolutely. Right back at you, man.
All right. All right. Well, we're going to get right into it. Like I said, I got 4 questions for you. Phil's got some questions. Rock Talk's got his question. We're going to dive right into it here. My first question here is, man, so you have a very robust career when it comes to both acting and theater. And I noticed that you got your performing arts degree from Penn State, and then you also got then you also got your bachelor's in science from Frostburg, right?
Yeah.
Frostburg, yeah. So I definitely wanted to talk to you about that. What made you choose the career path? I mean, did you always want to do performing arts? Did you always want to go the theater route, or was it just something that just came on a whim?
No, man. The quick story on that is I was basically a football major. I played football at Frostburg. I was a biology major, and that's what I wanted to do. I was like, if football didn't work, I'm a short dude, but I was fast. So football was a long shot. But I was like, oh, I love biology. So I took my first biology class, and I was nervous whenever we had to do any kind of like talk in front of people. The class was 400 people or whatever, and I would get nervous, and I was like, I can't be a doctor if I'm nervous in front of people, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
So I took an acting class, and that was kind of like the first acting thing that I had in college. And then I met a young lady who was like, hey, I'm auditioning for a musical, you should audition. And I was like, nah, I'm not gonna audition, but I ended up doing it. She was pretty, and I went into the audition and I sang "Happy Birthday" of all songs. Right, I sang "Happy Birthday," and they cast me because it was a novelty. I was a football player auditioning for this musical, and that was the beginning of it. That's kind of how it started.
All right. Well, thank you so much. That was actually going to dovetail into my next question. Actually, I was going to say, with the theater role and the performing roles, what was you said you started in high school, was it, or college?
High school was my first show. I started.
There we go. Okay.
Like acting classes in high school, at Rockville High School. Shout out to Rockville High School in Rockville, Maryland. The guys weren't auditioning for the plays, right? So they needed a guy. They were doing To Kill a Mockingbird. They were like, Wayne does everything. Let's see if he'll come audition for the show. So I auditioned. I was horrible. I was absolutely horrible, but they needed somebody again, because I was like just really nervous, right? And they needed someone. And after the production was done, the director was like, if you want to do this as a career, I think you have a shot. And so that was the first bug, right? But I didn't take it seriously at the time. I got to college, and that's kind of how it started.
All right. That's awesome, man. Now, obviously from theater, you went TV and film. You had a small role in, I believe it was SWAT. You played Officer Tessner, I think it was.
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah, Officer Tester, and then you did you had 7 episodes of Chicago Med.
Yeah, man.
You played Grant. What was his name? Grant
Grant Young.
Grant Young. Yeah, Grant Young. What was your role like in that TV series? What was Grant Young's what was his character like?
Man, that was a dope experience. I want to say though, too, with that experience, one, I was going back to Chicago. I love Chicago, so I was able to, go back to that beautiful, beautiful city that I love. And I was playing the father of one of the doctors, right? This
Okay,
lady
Doctor. What was her name? What's her name?
You got me.
It's right on the tip of my tongue. Mo. What's her name?
I forget the name, but yeah. So me and her mother, who also is a lead in the show, had a fling in high school, and we had a kid, and then of course we separated and everything, and then she wanted to see who her mom was, who her dad was, and so that's where I came in, and it was a great experience. But it's crazy how deep the DC fandom goes, because my first day on set, I had one of the not showrunners, but and she wasn't a producer, but anyway, this young lady came up to me. She was showing me where the costume shop was, and she was like, "Brother is a big fan, and I know you were supposed to be Green Lantern. He was so excited for me to meet you," whatever. And I was like, everywhere I go, it's been like this crazy thing. Even though I wasn't, I didn't get my shot to be in the movie, but it's amazing how deep the DC fandom goes.
It's telling of Zack's fan base and how supportive they are.
This DC fans, we're very, very. It's our, like I told you, this is our religion.
Bro.
This is our religion.
Yeah,
don't fuck with the religion.
Yeah, I remember, and I remember being at Zack's house, and he was telling me that, just how deep things go, and like I want to send a shout out to a couple of people, just because
please, of course, this
group of individuals here, from Sarah, who comes to see my show, to you, who came to see my show in Boston, to Caleb, who and I want to send a big shout out to him, because last year when my mom, she passed, and he didn't know this, but I was in Columbus, Ohio, and we were sitting at this restaurant. It's called FYR, I think, and Caleb Gordon just came up to me and said my full name, said Wayne T. Carr, and I was like, "I don't know you, bro. Who are you?" And he said, "I'm a big Zack Snyder fan. You were supposed to be the Green Lantern." And I was like, "Oh my gosh, wow!" And this dude treated me and my family to a dinner, like he was one of the the chefs there or whatever.
Yeah,
me and my family to the best dinner, and was just, he had no idea what I was going through. He had no idea my heart was broken, but he did that just because of his love for Zack Snyder and the DC fandom, et cetera, and the characters in this IP. So people like Sarah, people like Caleb, Phil, Adrian, it's a lot of people who have been very, very nice to me, even though I didn't have my opportunity to be in the film. So I appreciate everyone who has been awesome.
Absolutely, man. We this is why we are here. We are going to get more into that, by the way. I got one final question for you, and I'm going to pass it to Phil. Macbeth.
Yeah.
The tragedy of Macbeth.
Yeah.
This was a Denzel Washington vehicle. He starred as the lead role, Macbeth. You had some heavy hitters that you were in, man, that's in that. You got Frances McDermott. She's awesome. If you haven't seen the latest season of Fargo, she's in that, I believe. You worked with Corey Hawkins, who played Dr. Dre from Straight Outta Compton. Oh my God, Brian Thompson, old school 80s cat. He was in the Terminator. His first role, if nobody knows who Brian Thompson is, he was one of the thugs. Wow. When the Terminator, when Schwarzenegger first arrived, and he was one of the thugs that was in there. It said wash day tomorrow, nothing clean, right? That was him. Wow. That's Brian Thompson. He goes way back there. What was that experience like? That's my final question. What was that experience like, being around that much talent?
Man, so here's the thing. Like, I think any of those individuals that you named will be well, I don't know if they would be honest. I'm going to be honest with you. We all know there's a lot of talent out there, right? And some people get their shots, some people don't get their shots, right? And so, but it's dope when you come across people like Denzel and Corey and Francis who very humbly say, "Hey, can you help us during this process?" And this is a story that I haven't told very often, but I respect Francis for doing this. I auditioned for Corey's role initially, right? And I auditioned 4 times, and all I've done is
you played Lady Macduff's murderer, right?
Yes, I did. Ultimately, okay, that was the role that I played, right? And but I auditioned for several other roles, and Frances was really, really not kind. She was really real with me, and she was like, "Hey, Joel, everybody wants to work with Joel, and people who have resumes that are incredibly long want to work with him and will do it for nothing." So it was hard to find a place for you in this movie because you're great, but your film and television resume isn't as grand as some of the individuals that we have. As you said, Brian, who's been doing things since the 70s, etc. There are a lot of people who wanted to work with Joel, and so she was like, "We just had to find a spot for you." And so my major contribution to that experience was I was the Shakespeare consultant, and I helped throughout the film people who had questions along the way. But primarily, I worked with Denzel one-on-one for the first 3 weeks of the rehearsal process, and then I got to stay on.
What an honor to very.
Yes,
bro.
I know.
I can only imagine what was going in your head and in your heart. Like, holy shit! I'm with the GOAT.
Yeah, I don't fanboy much, but wow.
Yeah,
like,
Denzel's definitely a reason
right here,
to
you can fanboy all you want. Right here.
Yeah, I was like, I'm sorry. This is incredible. Yeah, it was awesome.
Awesome.
All right. Well, that was my final question. Thank you so much. I really appreciate you being here again. Phil, you go ahead and ask your questions. Man, this is awesome.
Alrighty, so let me see. Let me get this ready here. Where is that? So, all right, here it is. All right. So obviously, Wayne, I did go see your show here in Boston. So speaking of talent, you recently landed your talents once again to play a role in Odysseus with Kate Hamill's reimagining of the classic poem written by Homer, the Odyssey, alongside with Andrus, which I also had the pleasure to meet after the show once I went the second time. Shout out to Andrus if you're watching also.
Yeah.
So she played, so Andrus, so you guys know he played, Andrus played Penelope, Odysseus' wife. So I know I asked you this question personally when we met, but obviously I want to ask it again so the people can know the answer. So can you tell us how you prepared for that role and how did you prepare for the role for Odysseus?
I mean, that's a loaded question because of course I had maybe about a month and a half, around Thanksgiving, I knew I had the role, right? So I started by getting a translation of the poem, reading into that, but also talking to Kate, who was like, "Hey, here's the real deal. I want you to focus on the contemporary soldier. Like we're gonna create this play that is timeless, that doesn't necessarily fall in any particular category, but we want to focus a lot on PTSD. We want to focus a lot on people who go through traumas. The character is not an ideal person, right? He's not your typical hero leading man. He has flaws, which is what attracted me to the character ultimately. Okay. I didn't like the character ultimately, but I was like, this is a real person who is not perfect and has some issues, but have some redeemable qualities also. So I did a lot of research on individuals who deal with PTSD and the different versions of that. And that's kind of where I started and kind of carried that through the show and the poetry of the show.
Beautiful.
Now, Wayne, you know I have to drop this. You
Drop
know what I'm going to drop. You know I'm going to drop it. You know I got to drop it.
What are you dropping?
You know
Yeah,
what I
drop it,
showed you
Sean.
last time.
Give it to him, bro.
I'm going to give it to you.
Be right there. I'm staying. What for? You don't know if D did this. I don't know that he didn't. Look, whatever he is, he sure isn't in the same league as Grundy and the others. He's a nobody.
Ever read the Odyssey? After Odysseus was caught by the Cyclops, he told it his name was Nobody. So when he poked its eye out and its friends asked who did it, all the Cyclops could say was, nobody.
Point taken.
I had to do that, man. You know, come on.
Oh, that had me rolling for a couple of days, man. Just so you know, that was good.
So just to add on to that, though, Christopher Nolan is adapting the Odyssey as well, and I'd like to get your thoughts real quick on that, since you had the opportunity to play Odysseus in theater.
Well, Christopher Nolan is a genius, and I read some quote the other day. I forget who exactly said it, but I think it was John. Was it John Leguizamo?
Yeah, John Leguizamo.
He was like, "Oh, Nolan has a major film budget, but like
an indie film
kind of mentality." And I was like, "That's dope. That's great. I think that's exactly what you need for the story, right?" So I'm excited to see what he does with it.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So
Nice.
I'm sure you all know that we're huge fans of DC. That's obviously that's duh. When it comes to Zack Snyder's work, the majority of the fans, as you know, we're fighting to see his saga complete. Hence, also get the scene that we never got. Tell us how the experience was working with Zack, even though I know this is something that you and I spoke, but again, so everybody can share what you and I spoke. Share us your experience, because one thing I did share with everybody was the tennis ball. I shared that. So
man,
tell the rest. How was that experience?
I mean, it was surreal in so many ways. Like, I spent 4 hours there at his place, and while he and his son and everybody, it was like maybe like 4 or 5 people there. My wife was there to like do makeup, you know.
She was there too.
Yeah.
All right.
Nice.
Okay.
Awesome.
Yeah.
All right. Cool.
She does makeup, wigs, and things like that. So she was there, and we were like waiting while they were setting up in the parking lot. And he took me to his movie theater, right? And so that's where we were hanging out. And on his big screen, I was just watching the Lakers, looking like giants, you know, on the screen. That in itself was surreal, right? So I'm like, wow, this is awesome. And I'm like, man, I got to use the bathroom. So I go to the bathroom, I shut the door, and it's all this Watchmen paraphernalia.
Yes, he has Watchmen. Yep, yep. We've heard the rumors. Yep.
That's the mask. Oh my God.
The rumors are true.
He's got like
The
this,
rumors are
like,
true.
things all around his place. I was like, this is so dope. And then I, walk outside, and try to be normal. And he's like, yeah, hey,
kind of hard to do that after watching what you just experienced.
let's work. Awesome. I mean, like the whole, in all seriousness, though, that whole summer, it was the hardest summer for, I know, a lot of us. 2020, right, was just ridiculous, right?
Yeah.
That was brutal.
That summer, I literally came off the set where I was hanging out with Denzel Washington and Frances McDormand, doing Macbeth, Shakespeare on film, and then drove to Zack's house in a freaking mocap suit that doesn't flatter anybody, pull up next to this green screen, and then he's like, all right, we're going to play around with this ball. This is Batman. You're going to be talking to Bruce Wayne right there, which, by the way, that's my favorite character growing up. Batman was my jam, right? So I was freaking out, I was like, Bruce Wayne, this is dope. But yeah, so like, I mean, I can tell you so many stories. One of the things that kind of rocked me the most was I didn't know necessarily what I knew he gave me the page and a half or whatever it was of dialogue. I studied that. I did that thing, and he was throwing in lines, and we changed it up a lot. And then 2 hours in, he's like, I love what you're doing. I got to have this in my movie. Have to. And I was like,
awesome, dude.
What were we doing? And I was like, and of course that like sat with me for a little bit, and I was like, okay, maybe I was just like helping him figure out what he needed to do or whatever. And then he just kept going. He was like, yeah, I'm going to show it to Warner Brothers in 2 weeks, and I'll let you know how it goes. I was like, all right. I thought I was in it. Okay, or whatever, right? But he said, you know, look, it's a long shot, but I love what you're doing, and I want to have it in my film. And I was like, cool. So it was kind of like a shoot / audition, and halfway through, he was like, thumbs up, and then that was one of those surreal moments. I was just like, all right, cool. And then this is something I've never told anybody also, but he was like, by the way, when you were on your way up, did you see Harry? And I was like, Harry? Yeah, he drove right by you. Harry Lennox was driving down right.
Oh, man.
But I didn't know that was.
That's awesome.
Manhunter. That's awesome.
That's so cool.
Oh, man. For context, for anybody who don't know, and if you're in this chat, you better know. If you are a DC fan, you better know this. The Emerald Cut, that's him. He's in that. Okay, that's what we're missing right there. Would love to see both Martian Manhunter and John Stewart in that joint together. All right, that's the missing part right there. That Emerald Cut. So
hashtag release the Emerald Cut.
Release the Emerald Cut. Absolutely. That's
one
awesome.
thing I want to say, Wayne, before Rox will ask you the last question, is that is so awesome that your wife was there also to share that experience with you, because not all the time someone's spouse can share that type of surreal experience. So it's awesome because this part I'm learning about this right now, because I know you and I spoke a lot when you were here in Boston. That is awesome. That is a beautiful memory to have with your wife, dude.
Yeah,
shout out to your wife also. Shout out to Mrs. Carr.
Yeah, man. Absolutely. Yeah.
All right, so Wayne, speaking of hashtags, you recently here we go. You recently, and this is really my only question, and I think it's a big one, and it's very important for the Zack Snyder community. Yeah. You recently retweeted the hashtag sell ZSJL to Netflix, and there's been a lot of
wouldn't that be amazing?
It would be. I am totally on board with that. I've been on board with sell ZSJL to Netflix for a very long time. Yeah. The thing is I wanted to bring to the attention, though, is that there's been a lot of division within the fandom with regards to what hashtags should be used in support of restoring Zack's universe. Some people choose to hashtag restore. Some people choose to hashtag sell. Some people choose to hashtag whatever. There seems to be new hashtags almost every day.
Yeah.
My question is do you believe that the fans should unite behind one particular hashtag, or do you think that no matter what hashtag is used, as long as we're keeping the conversation positive about Zack Snyder and his work within the zeitgeist, it shouldn't really matter? You know, I think that's just my opinion, but that's what I wanted to get from you.
Well,
you know,
if you are concerned about like numbers, right, and you want it to pop up on the trendy type thing, yeah, sure. Everybody pulling together, banding together to use one hashtag, that definitely does, you know, bring a little more attention to it. But any kind of positive energy towards something that you believe as a whole, if you're fighting over like the little, like who should it be this or should it be that, then I think that's missing the point. The thing that all of the Zack's fans, DC fans, whatever camp you decide to fall in, you know, if you're a Superman fan, a Batman, it doesn't matter, right? If you want to see these movies, if you want to have some kind of influence, everyone sending positive energy, everyone putting their money where their mouth is, everyone not fighting amongst each other, but pooling together, like, to me, any kind of positive energy going in whatever direction is the thing that people lock onto. I think you might think the algorithm is screwing you up or whatever, but there are people in high places that pay attention to all of the things, all of it, right? They pay attention. They have to. Right, it's money for them, right? So I don't care if there are 50,000 hashtags in this and 50 over here, and when it could have been 100K or whatever, it don't matter. if any of the big studios feel like, you know what, we might get some value if we like did this thing over here and gave the fans what they want, they will do that if it was this, right?
Mhm.
So like to me, you know, don't get me wrong, I understand like it's there's pride involved, there's belief, there's whatever else, there's, you know, clicks, all of that stuff happens. It's like high school, man. But understand that it's all being taken into consideration when you have a positive energy towards whatever.
Awesome.
It doesn't matter what the hashtag is. If 100,000 people are saying we want this, if 500,000 people are saying we want this, people are going to hear about it.
There it is, right there. Yep. Okay, pull that back up. Pull that comment back up. All right. Dennis just said it exactly. Keep people talking about the Snyderverse, and it will never fade. That is exactly the point that I was making, especially at the beginning of the conversation. We support Cell. We support Cell the Snyderverse. We support Batfleck. We support, make the Batfleck movie. We support Restore the Snyderverse. We support all of them because we want his stuff finished. That is literally the point behind all of this. We want Zack Snyder's universe, including your shot as John Stewart. We want you to have your shot as well. So that's the point that we are all making. That was the reason, and that was the mandate behind the Lethal Geeks. This is why we started this channel, for everyone to come here and unite together under one common cause, and that is to get his universe finished. That's it.
So, Dennis, you get a drop.
Hey, there's kids trapped under here. Someone give us a hand.
Will this do? Thanks, man.
Honestly, Wayne, I wanna thank you for your answer. I think it was the perfect answer, and I think it should help unite a lot of the division. So thank you so much, dude. You have no idea what that means.
Oh, cool, man. Like I just want to, just also say like it's okay to have different opinions and different thoughts. You know what I mean? But you don't have to. You don't have to fight over it, right? Like say what you feel, and I'm cool with it, right? Like whatever it is that you feel, you desire, you want, or whatever. All right, cool. But ultimately, if there's any positive energy going in a certain direction, that's what's going to count ultimately.
Because pay attention to this important part, guys, in case you don't know, and for anybody listening or chiming in or just dropping in just to hear what we have to say. When they're paying attention, just like he said, they're paying attention to the algorithm. They're paying attention to how many people are asking for this. They are also paying attention to the infighting. They are also paying attention to that. So don't think for a minute that these people aren't paying attention to that. This is the reason why we're saying what we're saying here today. It does not matter what hashtag you are using. If you support DC, if you want Zack Snyder's universe restored, have at it.
Keep it positive and let's keep talking about it. Exactly.
We're all going in the same direction. We're all headed in the same direction, no matter what the outcome is, whether they sell it, whether they restore it, whatever is on the table, whatever's on the horizon, we want them to finish it so we can all rest. That's the point.
And guys, one thing also I want to say, Wayne here, he is our Black Panther. Because guys, if you all DC fans know, John Stewart was the first black DC hero.
That's right.
Wayne was a little confused there for a second.
I know. In the comics, I know. Yeah, I know. But yes, that's what I meant.
Nice one, Phil.
You guys know what I meant. But
I know, bro.
Yes.
This way.
Wayne, I get roasted every time. This is nothing.
You take it so well, brother. I appreciate it.
I have a choice.
You sure don't, buddy. You sure don't,
He's going red. He's going red.
You don't have a look into my eye, Phil. You don't have a choice, bro. You're gonna take them hits.
Take him like a man. All right, guys. So Wayne, thank you again for answering our questions. So guys, first like, subscribe to the channel, leave your comments also. And now it's time for you guys in the chat to ask Mr. Wayne T. Carr some questions that you guys would like to know about him. But please keep them respectful. We're going to screen them. Make sure they are, appropriate, because I did see a few lurkers here disrespecting, but they got banned, and that's going to happen if you guys don't play by the rules, because Charles already said it right here. Everybody needs to be respectful. Everybody needs to.
I may not look it, but I'm almost 52 years old, guys. I'm going to keep bringing this stuff up just like I'm an old man, because I am an old man. Act like adults on this show. Otherwise, it's done. That's it. We don't have time for this. We're trying to build a bridge and unite this fandom together to get your favorite comic book director, Zack Snyder's universe restored. So keep it respectful.
Awesome. After you. No worries. Phil, how are we doing with those questions? Guys, submit your questions right now. Get your questions going for Wayne in the chat, and we are going to screen them and get them up on
you're old.
Get them up for you. You're old.
All right. So let's start with let's see here. Let's start.
Got it right here. Yeah.
Okay, you got it. Go ahead, Charles. Yeah.
You got it? Okay, here we go. All right.
Oh, and after each question, everyone gets a drop. So go ahead.
Okay, sounds good. This one is from Simple J. How did you get the role? Also, what was your reaction when you saw it all done?
So I think he's referring to Green Lantern.
I think you're referring to the Green Lantern, right, Simple J? I think that's what he's talking about.
Well, yeah, I'll jump in with that if that's what he means. So let me try to do the quick rundown of that. All right. It was like 2017, right? Ray Fisher was coming back up to Ashland to the Oregon Shakespeare Festival to visit, right? And I was excited about him being Cyborg and everything. And we were talking, and I was like, hey, down the road, if Cyborg has a brother or something, you know what I mean? You let him go or whatever. Because at the time,
shout out to Ray Fisher, by the way.
Yeah, Ray Fisher, right?
You're watching.
He was supposed to have his own film and everything. It was all of this stuff, whatever. Long story short, when Max came to HBO Max, came to Zack and said, hey, we want your version. If you have it in the can, we don't want to throw a bunch of money, blah, 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 blah. You can do what you need to do. He was talking to people like Ray and saying, hey, I have these desires, these dreams. I want to put in a Green Lantern. I want to whatever. And Ray dropped my name and said, I know somebody who's a great actor who should be, you could consider him. So that summer, Zack called me 5 times. We talked for hours and hours and hours. And it was just like an interview. We were just chopping it up. And then by the 5th time, I sent him all. I didn't have much. I didn't have many film credits or anything like that. I'd been here for a couple of years in LA, but I sent him everything that I had. The SWAT. I sent him like a little bit of film that I've done, even like old film. But he said, "Okay, come to my house. I want you to do this thing." And I knew it was a long shot because we had conversations halfway in, like I said earlier. For me getting into the thing because he knew he was breaking the rules a little bit because he wasn't supposed to do anything. All of that shooting was on his dime, doing what he needed to do. Right? So when he was asked not to put the character in and put me in, he got pissed off and was really upset. And yeah, it was a crazy experience going back and forth with him, talking to him about the situation. But I was just excited to work with him. I'm a big 300 fan. That was my
Who is it, man? I love that movie.
This is my dude. I love this, right? It got me into working out in a different way. But yeah, so
he does that. He does that.
Yeah, sure, man. I loved the film ultimately when I watched it, and I loved that they allowed him to do what he wanted to do. It was very long, of course, as we all know, but it was beautiful. And then when I saw the the end scene that I was supposed to be in. It was a little sad, but it was also exciting at the same time because
so Zack has a completed scene, a completed end scene with you in it. Like he has a completed version.
he has a raw version.
Okay.
Because when he was told, he showed Warner Brothers the raw clip.
Gotcha.
Because of course he had to put in money to get the CGI, stuff done. So all I know is we were shooting for a night shoot. We were shooting for him to have his options, and when he was not allowed to put the John Stewart character in, he adjusted, and I thought it was cool. You know what I mean? Like that happens all the time.
Yeah.
And it was dope of him to, even though he was pissed off and he was like, I'm going to drop some concept art, and it had my face on it. And people were like, who's that dude? And then he never
Who's that dude?
If he never did that, I wouldn't know you guys, right? This happens all the time. People get cut out of things all the time, right?
Yeah.
You don't even know. You have no idea. So it's a very common thing. So I didn't think anything of it. I was like, oh, I had my shot. And he drops this concept art. He says my name on a couple of podcasts, and I was like, dope. He didn't have to do that at all. He didn't have to do that. Nobody knows who I am. You know what I mean? I'm a theater guy. I've been doing my thing all across the country. Whatever.
And we're still talking about it.
Yeah.
To this day.
And
To this day. Ladies and gentlemen, that is what dedication is. That is what I mean by that word. When you take the time to park it up in your front driveway and throw up a green screen to shoot what you wanted to shoot because you are that deep of a creative, that's dedication. That is the reason why we love Zack Snyder. Period.
And Wayne, you said it was Ray that introduced you to Zack. Can you elaborate maybe on your relationship with Ray Fisher a little bit more? How did you meet him?
Ray and I played brothers in a Shakespeare show many moons ago, it seems, right? And then he left the Oregon Shakespeare Festival to do some off-Broadway stuff, and then
shout out to Ray Fisher, man.
Yeah, right.
I love it.
And Ray Fisher is such a down dude. He's very private guy, but such a down dude and cool, and he doesn't forget the people that he loves, right? And so he also didn't have to mention my name, you know what I mean? But he did it when Zack said, "Hey, I'm trying to do this thing," you know. But so we remained friends since we played brothers in this show, and
that's amazing, man. And for any of you Ray Fisher fans, make sure you guys check out Piano Lesson on Netflix.
Yes,
okay?
Absolutely.
That's a good one.
Yes,
that's a real good one. All right, so Simple J, you get a drop.
He's carrying a grudge.
She'll get over it. How about you carrying anything?
What, share? We're cool. Giving each other our space. I'm seeing Vixen now. I'm very happy. Anyway, why are we always talking about my love life? What's going on between you and Diana?
Nothing. She's a respected colleague.
I
don't have time to pursue a relationship. My work is too important to allow any distractions. Diana's a remarkable woman. She's a valued friend. She's standing right behind me, isn't she?
Don't let that stop you.
I completely forgot that happens.
Standing right behind me, isn't she?
By the way, I want to our friend Aaron Fisher, shout out to you, buddy, one of our friends on the YouTube channel. So I hope you're doing very well, because he was in an accident recently. So I hope he's doing very well, Aaron. So much love for you, brother, and I'm glad you were able to see and meet here. Wayne is
absolutely
with us.
Welcome, Aaron.
So guys, go to his channel, Aaron Fisher.
My review, Aaron Fisher.
My review, Aaron Fisher. Absolutely, go check him out. So we got a next question that I highlighted here from one of my favorite members of the chat. Where is it? Oh wait, I started. Okay, Gilmore Girls. What do you think is what do you think is more fulfilling, theater acting or TV movie acting?
It's completely different. Gilmore Girls. Theater, there is no cut, right? You rehearse for however long you need to rehearse, and then you get up and you do, in the case of the Odyssey, a 3-hour show, and there's no cut. if something goes down, which it does, your nose starts to drip, you cough on something, you just go. There is no cut. And Denzel will say this for sure to everybody. He's like, this is where you theater is where you cut your teeth. It's where you act. That's where you learn how to act. So theater has a special place, I think, in like the true actor's heart. You don't get paid much money. It's not about that, right? It's about the craft. We love what we do. We love telling stories. But the cool thing about film is like, you never know what you're going to get. You get into the audience and you get to see with the audience what's really going down, sometimes for the first time. I mean, on the set at Zack's house, I was slowly gliding down from a box. That's how he was going to like start my flying, right? Like that's what you were going to see me gliding. I was stepping down from a box. And then he was like, we're going to make you fly off of that. Really? That's amazing. Like, that's crazy. Yeah, it's crazy.
That's awesome, man.
Nice.
Awesome.
Right,
Thank you for the question, Gilmore Girls. Thank you.
Gilmore Girls, here's your drop.
And then he just turned into smoke and disappeared.
Can you think where he might have gone?
No, he wasn't rational. There's no telling what he might do.
Don't worry. We'll find him.
I see why he always looked up to you.
To me? He was the one who had it made.
No, I've seen him watching you on the news. The way you're always helping people, I think he'd trade places with you in a second.
Guess the grass always looks greener. I'll bring him back safe. I promise.
Awesome.
By the way, Wayne,
Nice.
I want to highlight my buddy here, Arky Trooper. Saludo, Arky. Snyder Cut Chile, one of the members of Snyder Cut Chile.
Nice to see you.
Buying the ticket. Yeah.
All
right, guys. Who else wants to ask a question?
I want to send a shout out to the GOAT, Phil Lamar. That's
Lamar, yes.
My introduction to John Stewart. So he's been nothing but awesome to me and supportive along the way. So
yeah,
awesome,
Phil Lamar. I remember him from the Mad TV days.
All right. So our buddy here, Aaron, has a question for you. 2 questions. Did Snyder talk about the future of GL at all, and was Hal ever discussed?
No, he didn't talk about Hal or Green Lantern, anything. The only thing he said Green Lantern wise is he said if he had his opportunity, and this was the day of the shoot, he said if he had his opportunity to do part 2, the lanterns will come into play heavily. That's all that I know, right? So there would have been more lanterns, and if Hal was a part of that, I don't know, but that's the only thing he ever said about it.
He foreshadowed it in ZSJL with Kilowog. I think Kilowog was there. Yeah. And who was the other one?
Yalinger.
Yes.
Yalinger. The old from that time. Yeah.
So we knew he was setting it up, man, and we were so excited.
Yeah.
Awesome. All right. Who else has a question here? Come on, guys. Questions. Give us questions.
Oh, I got Curly Ray up here. He had one.
Okay, Curly Ray.
Yeah, there we go.
What is your favorite film from Zack Snyder? I think you said is it
you did.
Yeah.
Did you?
Yeah. I mean, I would say 300 would have to be the jam, right? But my introduction was what was the zombie one? Dawn
of the Dead.
Dawn of the
Dead. That screwed me up. I'm not a big scary horror person kind of guy, right? But and the reason why it screwed me up was one, he had like a baby zombie in it.
The baby scene. I knew you were going to say that.
What's wrong with you, dude? And then the speed in which they moved, right? I don't know if you remember the film or if you watched the film, but I remember seeing it. And this guy who had been zombified, right? He was running after this car and then saw somebody in the lawn and then just turned. Oh shit.
It was the scene where, remember, the little girl got bit first and he walked and his daughter came in to their bedroom in the morning time and he got up and he couldn't see her and he was like, honey, what's wrong? And when he walked up on her, she bit him in the neck And then he got zombified, and then he ran outside and jumped on the car.
Scared me, man. I'm too sensitive. I think I was like, oh yeah, but I loved it though. I watched the whole thing, but 300 was the one that got me where I was like, okay, I didn't know you can do this. Like this looks like a comic
book.
Yeah. 300 made me sit up straight. 300 made me sit up straight. I saw Dawn of the Dead, and I'm not a zombie fan either. And then once I started watching The Walking Dead, I was like, oh, this is actually, not that bad. But yeah, I saw Dawn of the Dead. I was like, okay, not bad. Fresh, fresh director, whatever. And then he made 300. I was just like, and I found out later that technique he used was called speed ramping.
Oh, nice.
So he would speed up the technique, slow it down, speed up the technique, slow it down. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was great.
Awesome. Phil, Josh has a question there.
Yes, I got it right here. So, Josh, Wayne, did you know about Full Circle's ZSJL IMAX screening back in April 2023? Did you get to see ZSJL on the big screen with Mrs. Carr?
No, I didn't get to see it on the big screen. At the Full Circle, I was going to try to sneak in. I wasn't going to like buy a ticket or whatever. I teach at the school, his alma mater. I teach at Art Center in his theater, which is kind of dope. The theater that he built there, which is beautiful. I teach film criticism or thinking critically about film at that school and acting for directors. So I thought I'd be able to sneak in or whatever, but it was kind of like a lockdown thing. So
security was tight, eh?
Oh. Yeah. They were like, I don't care if you work here or not. You are not allowed.
Wow.
So for Josh, you know which one I'm going to drop.
We live in a society where honor is a distant memory. By the way, who do you think screamed the loudest? The girl? Or the boy?
So for context, Wayne, Josh Herrera, a shout out to you, Josh. He's one of our friends, also part of the Snyder community. He always goes to conventions and has met Zack multiple times.
I know Josh. Yeah,
you know Josh. Okay, yeah.
Awesome. Josh went to school with my wife.
Oh wow!
Oh,
awesome!
Wow. Okay.
Okay.
So
what a small world.
He met Jared Leto, and he dressed up as Robin. So it's why the drop.
Nice.
We call him the Robin of our movement.
He's our Robin, yeah.
I love it.
All right, guys. A couple more questions, guys. Come on. A few. I think two more questions. I think.
I see a couple good ones here, actually, dude.
Which one?
Chris Brown. Pull up Chris Brown's question.
Chris Brown. Where's Chris? Chris. This one.
Yes.
Okay. Wayne, should Zack make Rebel Moon 3? Would you like to play a part in it, or even his USC film or LAPD film? Thanks for being here tonight, brother.
Yeah, I don't bother Zack too much, right? But I have let him know, like, if there's anything in your upcoming, films, let me know, because he did say to me, and I'm holding him to it. He was that was like the biggest gift he gave me. Actually, was when we were shooting. He was like, we will work together. If this doesn't happen, we will work together at some point. And I remember talking to him before Rebel Moon was being shot. And he was like, I don't have the right role for you in this, but we'll work together down the road. So I would love it if he had something in one of those films for me, but I'm not going to press him too hard.
Hey, we have a theory that because you know Zack better than we do because you've met the man.
I don't know about that.
He's very
you guys know a lot.
He's very cryptic with his messaging. And we did see him post a picture with Gerard Butler a while back. So we suspect that it might be for some grounded police film in Los Angeles.
That would be dope. He likes to work with his people. You know what I mean? And he, if he finds a person that he gels with, he will work with them as much as he possibly can. But as you know, in Hollywood, right? Like you can have all the meetings in the world, and people have things to do. It's like if it works out timing wise, great. Then maybe that'll happen. But
Yeah.
Mama Bear's, Mama Bear's got a good question for us to close out with. I think we should wrap
Let me
it up
just
with hers.
let me just give Chris a drop, and then we'll wrap up with Mama Bear. So, Chris, I'm gonna give you this one.
Mari, are you crazy? Do you know what I could do to you with this ring?
Promises, promises.
Why the ambush?
Seems like the only way I can get your attention. We haven't gone out in nearly a month.
It hasn't been that long.
Not going to argue about it, Boo. You're taking me out to dinner tonight. I'm in the mood for Chinese.
The place by my apartment?
No, a romantic little spot I know in Beijing.
I'm not off shift until 1600 hours. That's breakfast time in China.
I like breakfast. It's a date.
Okay.
John, aren't you forgetting something?
This isn't the time or place, Mari. It's unprofessional.
Such a player.
What's up with these drops, man? What you doing? This is a family-oriented show, brother.
Oh, that's good.
Animated show, Charles. All right, final question for Mama Bear. Where are you at, Mama Bear?
Right below Chris Brown. Right below Chris Brown's question.
Oh snap! All right, let me find the challenging role. Is that the one?
Nope. I can just read it if you want me to read it.
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead and read it.
It says, Wayne, would you be willing to say the Green Lantern oath? It would make my year.
Do you remember it?
In brightest day, in blackest night, no evil shall escape my sight. Let those who worship evil's might beware my power, Green Lantern's light.
Yeah! Bang, bang! There it is. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Wayne T. Carr.
Thank you. Mama Bear.
John Stewart himself.
Here's your drop, Mama Bear.
Tell me you're not jealous.
Tell me you're not serious. Why do you need a van? Wait, don't answer that. I don't want to know.
The Flashmobile's not just a van. It's an expression of my inner self. That's not right.
Yeah, well, Hotshot, next time you feel the need to express your inner self, repress.
But that's not even the best part.
Shout out to Mama Bear.
Awesome. Awesome.
All right.
All right. So we still have the giveaway to take care of. So Wayne, like I said, I've reminded everyone in the chat to make sure that they have liked the promotional material on our social media. So I would like you now to go ahead and select a winner from anybody who has been engaging and talking with us tonight.
Sarah.
Where's Sarah?
There she is.
I see the account. Sarah, the goat. She wrote a comment that says the goat. There we go. Sarah, thank you. Awesome. If you wouldn't mind sending us a private message, and we will get that sent over to you as soon as possible.
Nice. Congratulations, Sarah.
Congratulations, Sarah.
So before we wrap up here with Wayne, because obviously Wayne is a busy man, Wayne, I also wanted to give you a personal thank you and also a message from my boys at my local comic shop, because as you know, you gave us a signed copy to Ross.
I had to get it.
Thank you, sir. We appreciate
Thank you, Wayne, so much. This is incredible, dude.
Right on.
Absolutely incredible. Thank you so much. The fact that I get to thank you personally is just so crazy, man. Thank you.
Thank you.
So, Wayne, a message from my comic book shop for you.
Hey, Wayne, Bob, comically speaking. I just want to say a big thank you for the signature on this. I got to say, John Stewart, I'd love to say he's my number one. He's my number two. Hal's my number one. But the stories that you have going on in here, amazing. Love it. Keep up the good work. And again, thank you for doing this. Greatly appreciated. Shout out to my friend Phil for making this happen. Thank you, guys. You have a good one.
Awesome.
Shout out to you, Bob.
Thanks, Bob.
And last one here. This is Pat, the owner of the store.
Hey, Wayne. This is Patrick from Comically Speaking. I want to thank you for my signed copy of the Green Lantern hardcover. I really appreciate it. Nice work. Also, I want to let everybody know that if anybody is in this area, April 4, 5, and 6, I'm running a big sale. Come and check us out.
Shout out to Pat as well, Comically Speaking. So as Pat said, Comically Speaking in Reading, Massachusetts, on the date right there, he's having a sale. So a link will be in the description. So anybody in the Massachusetts, Rhode Island, or New Hampshire area, please go and support Comically Speaking. Because guys, we wouldn't be fans of comics if it weren't for our local comic book store.
Absolutely.
Where we get all the stories that we grow up with and take our kids and share those stories. So please go support your local shops. And again, if you guys are in the area, I will leave a link so you guys go and support Comically Speaking.
Perfect.
All right. So Wayne, brother, I appreciate it. We will meet again. You know what let
me know when you're out west.
And when you're down south.
And obviously there is an open invitation for you, bro. Anytime you want to come back on our podcast, anytime you have something to promote, anything, dude, let us know, and we'll definitely kick it.
Theater, TV, movie, brother. You got my number. You just call. We make it happen.
Appreciate it.
Absolutely.
All right. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Wayne T. Carr, our John Stewart Green Lantern, and also you can catch him again. You are doing your show, the Odyssey, through April.
Oh, it's done. He wrapped up.
Is you wrapped up, right? Okay, all right. He's wrapped up then. Sorry. We look forward to any future endeavors that you have, man. Let us know anytime you want to stop by again. Mr. Carr, thank you so much, sir. This is a blessing. Thank you.
Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, Wayne T. Carr.
Wayne T. Carr.
Thank you, Wayne.
You have a good one.
Thank you, Wayne. We'll talk soon.
Okay.
Guys.
Holy. How you guys feeling?
Feeling good, brother.
You guys feeling good? That was a lot of fun.
That was momentous, man. It really was. I'm finally glad we actually got to speak with him and talk to him. So, yeah.
Now, people, you guys know what to do when I do this.
Spartans! What is your profession?
You see, old friend, I brought more soldiers than you did.
Ow! Ow!
Ow! Ow! Awesome. Well, guys, the party's not over. We got much more to talk about. ZSJL.
4 years.
Anniversary.
4 years, guys.
That was 4 years since their servers went down time and time again because of the people that have been trying to get to this film and watch this film. This is my absolute favorite movie of his. It's beautifully shot. People complain about the runtime and stuff like that, man. You got to be a true cinephile if you can sit and watch a film. There you go. I got two different steel books of that film. I got the smaller one, the regular one, 4K in plastic. I got the trilogy in regular 4K, and then I got the bigger trilogy as well.
So the story behind why I have 2 copies here is because they released the first few copies over in the UK before it came over to Canada and the United States.
Yeah.
So I snagged the UK copy first, as you can see with the ratings on the bottom, as soon as it was released. And then once they actually released it here domestically, I grabbed our copy. But yeah.
Yes.
Nice. So Sin, how am I doing so far? I'm doing good.
He's prepared Phil tonight. He is prepared Phil. # prepared Phil.
# prepared Phil. No simple Phil this time. No,
better not.
All right, Lethal Geeks.
So we don't have to play the simple Jack drop on you. Then we good so far.
Not tonight. Not tonight.
So far so good. Lethal Geeks, that was epic. How lucky are we to have a safe like this to come as ZSJL Snyderverse fans? Absolutely. Robin. Absolutely. Oh, Gilmore Girls, thank you. Gilmore Girls, I gave you a lot of love. If you know, you know. All right, Curly Rays, ZSJL Justice League was one of my favorite movies of all time. Absolutely, man.
Hands down, it is my favorite comic book film of all time. Hands down.
Of all, yeah, it is. It's at the top for me, man. It's right there. Yep.
So Joe Carr asks, which league member is ZSJL is your favorite? Mine, Batman.
Batman, of course.
Batman.
Of course.
Batfleck.
We're all Batman guys here.
Yeah.
I'm kidding. Love you too, Sin. All right, guys. So it's been 4 years since finally we got the Snyder Cut, and we've been celebrating. Dude, we celebrate this fucking movie every day,
bro. Every day.
Every fucking day. We're tweeting, we're hashtagging, we're having conversations.
We're keeping it positive within the zeitgeist. Exactly. If you know, you know.
Joker, Cyborg or Batman? Okay, cool. Cyborg or Batman for you. Awesome. So yeah. So again, we had a trending event, and what can I say, guys? We keep killing it.
They killed it, man. They killed it.
Keep killing it.
Sell Snyderverse to Netflix, 15,000 retweets, reposts. Damn. Restore the Snyderverse, 26.6 thousand posts. This is the kind of energy we need to keep moving forward with.
Exactly.
Guys.
And keep in mind, like we were saying, they're not looking at who's retweeting the most. They're looking at who's retweeting.
They're looking at the demand. We're creating demand.
Exactly.
How much merch do we buy on a freaking daily basis of Snyderverse? The physical media, the t-shirts, the toys,
the statues.
Yeah.
And those statues ain't cheap, fellas.
No.
Nope. That's that statue I opened last week. Wasn't cheap. So what else can we talk about here? Give me a second here. Let me just pull this out for a second. So, alrighty, where is that? And then, here it is. So, Mr. Floyd Lawton, shout out to you. You, my friend, got some love this week. Lots and lots of love. Because you shared this to celebrate 4 years of Zack Snyder's Justice League. So we want to give you your proper shout out to you, brother.
Sergeant's taking off in the chat. Take care, Sergeant. We'll see you next time.
Take care, Sergeant, man. Thank you for stopping by, brother.
Time. So, dude, like, this is there he is. That was the way. Yep, there you go. So what do you guys think, man? What do you think looking back 4 years? What are your thoughts?
I can't believe it's already been 4 years.
How far is it?
Like, to me, it feels like this movie came out yesterday. You know what I mean? Like, the way that our fandom has been able to keep this energy going for 4 years. 4 years of coming on Twitter and talking about this movie every single day. You know, that's devotion. That's dedication. You know? There is no other fandom like the Zack Snyder fandom.
No. There isn't, and I doubt there ever will be. He is He's unique. No matter, love him or hate him, this man did something with the comic book genre that nobody seemed to dare to do, except for one other person before him, Christopher Nolan. Christopher Nolan was the foundation. He was the one that laid the bricks with him and David S. Goyer with the script for Man of Steel. It was their baby. Okay, they chose Zack Snyder for a reason. They chose Zack Snyder because of his past work, especially 300 and Watchmen. That was probably what sold it for Christopher Nolan. You know what I mean? I don't know for sure, but I'm thinking if I saw something like that, I'm like, oh yeah, this is the guy I want to do my Superman film. Okay, and he brought something to the genre that nobody dared, man. He got into the characters, he broke them down, he deconstructed them, he gave them a real story. That's the difference between Zack writing a superhero film or directing a superhero film and everybody else. He gave them a real journey. He deconstructed these characters. He deconstructed Kal-El and wanted to tell his story over a 5-part movie arc. Okay, that final movie ending with him being that beacon of hope, that beacon of optimism, that cheeky, winky, smiling Superman that everybody keeps talking about. That was not supposed to be Man of Steel. That is not what Man of Steel was supposed to be about. That's where you guys fail to realize that every movie that came before it, even this one coming up, these are just regular Superman movies. Donner Superman was a regular, just Donner Superman movie. They squeezed in him coming to Earth. They squeezed in him losing his dad and him, showing his powers in front of people. They squeezed in him getting a job at the Daily Planet. They squeezed in Lex Luthor. They did all of that in one film. Zack Snyder opted to tell Kal-El's journey over 5 stories, from his journey as a kid growing up, harnessing his powers just like puberty as he's growing up, all the way to his first actual I gotta save people job. That was Man of Steel. That was what Man of Steel was supposed to be about. It wasn't supposed to be about this guy, Superman. That's not what that film is about. That's what seems to be confusing you people. It wasn't supposed to be that Superman. That's what got you messed up. He wasn't shooting a Superman film. If you can get it out of your head that he was supposed to shoot a Superman film, you'd be wrong.
That's why
he was the man.
Superman, bro.
That's why it wasn't called Superman. It was called the Man of Steel. He hasn't established that Superman yet because he was raw. He was new. That's why the destruction. That's why the destruction. That's why killing Zod. That's why that was the point, was to put him through that.
And that's why they didn't say the name Superman until the very end of the film.
So,
but you know what, guys? I think obviously a lot of us watching here, 157, by the way.
Awesome. Thank you guys for tuning in.
Also,
absolutely.
Thank you. Smash that like,
subscribe.
So, for all the people, the negative ones out there, they say, no, this. Actually, Aaron, you said it perfectly. Where's that? Where I said no, that's not that one. No, it's not that one. He just
You're
had
losing it, brother.
here.
You better get it. You're losing it.
I got it.
I told you he's prepared, Phil, tonight.
A movie that shouldn't even exist. Aaron, you're absolutely right, and I'm going to explain why people are mad. They're mad. Where is it? Here it is. This is why people are mad.
Let's plan chopping.
Yeah.
Copy?
It's okay. I think we get the idea, though, dude. It's good.
Okay.
So, obviously, for those who know, looking at these scenes, where do you think Zack Snyder got him? Where do you think he got his idea for Man of Steel?
Literally from the animated series.
Literally from the animated series. The same series that you guys claim as God but then you shit on Zack Snyder about. So the question I have is just because it's Zack Snyder? Had it been I don't know, Steven Spielberg that did it, or one of your other favorite directors, James Gunn? If one of them did it exactly like this, would you hate them? These are all questions that need to be answered. Because so far, none of you guys have been able to give us a righteous reason as to why you don't like Zack Snyder.
He's a hack. That's what you keep hearing. But I love his Superman. He's a hack.
Yeah, I love his Superman, but he's a hack.
I'm a defender of his Superman.
How do you love his Superman when he was the one that directed him? If you love Henry Cavill's direction of Superman, who directed him?
Or I'm a champion of his Superman, but if you know where I'm going with this.
Oh, we're gonna go there. Don't worry. He's on our list.
Getting there.
He's on that list. If you know, you know. And if you guys know, I in the chat I sent on the precinct I sent a picture. We'll get there also. But yeah, there's no excuse, guys. All you people out there, you just listen. If you don't like Snyder, that's fine. If you don't like his style, that's fine. Let us enjoy what we like. Right here, I'm seeing a freaking comic come to life. Even though it's animated, you think these type of images we haven't seen in the comics and books? Like Zack, even like we showed this when we did on our last episode when we celebrated 16 years of Watchmen. Image exactly like the comic. Imagine what he could do.
Look at that. It's literally right that one scene where he was spinning him around. Wow.
Now imagine him doing all this, which is awesome. But you guys know which one he wants to really do more than anything. Imagine our favorite director, Zack Snyder.
Imagine the warehouse scene at BVS on steroids. Imagine it that way.
Woo! Hold on. I know which one. The scene where he's going after all the bad guys on the car. Imagine Zack doing this. Hold on. Let me make it a little bigger. Hold on. Give me 1 second here. Nope, that's not. What? Nope. Shift 1, shift 2.
What the hell are you doing?
Why are you showing up there?
You tell me.
You're the one pushing buttons, Phil.
I'm not. My hands are not on the computer.
I don't know. Whatever. That's fine. I'll just do it again. Imagine Zack doing that. That with Batman jumping. That I already know how he's going to do that. That's going to be slow-mo. Ooh. And for all you guys that hate slow-mo, fine. Don't watch the movie. We'll watch it.
He didn't invent slow-mo, by the way, guys. If you watch enough movies, you'll see that a lot of directors do it. So,
so when this comes out, and he will do it, I'm gonna watch this at least $5 in IMAX. At least. That's where the money is. WBD, James Gunn, David Zaslav. Right here.
Peter Safran. Gotta throw him in there.
Of course. So it's there. You just gotta want to take it. But apparently you guys don't want the money. You'd rather
burn that company to the ground. Is what they'd rather do.
$10.74 this week.
Something right there. It hovers around 1054, 1070. It'll dip down to 9. It'll come back up, but it never seems to jump over $11 a share.
How many pennies is that?
So right now, that's like 1,000 and what? 74 pennies, something like that.
Yeah. So yeah. Oh, here's one more I want to share with you guys, and then we'll move on to our next topic, because we got a lot to talk about, guys. Ooh, we got a lot to talk about.
Onward for the glory of Darkseid and Apocalypse.
Not comic book accurate, right? No,
bro.
So for those of you who keep saying, "Oh, would be cool if we saw Zack Snyder finish his story in animated or a comic book form," okay, let's address that first. Did you see what was just on screen? Darkseid in animation, Parademons in animation, Darkseid spaceships in animation, fighting in animation. It has already been done in animation.
That's why we're fighting so hard for this now.
Why the hell do
Live
you
action.
think we are here? It says to me that you did not see the animated cartoons with Darkseid and Superman fighting. It tells me that you are a shill. And until you can come on this show and prove that you're not, you're a shill. You kowtow to the corporations and the companies. They open your mouth like a toilet seat, and you say, "Please, sir, may I have some more?"
You pull up Joker's comment. Pull up Joker's comment.
Give Carr a drop, dog.
My name is General Zod. For some time, your world has sheltered one of my citizens. I request that you return this individual to my custody. To Kal-El, I say this. Surrender within 24 hours, or watch this world suffer the consequences.
Shout out to you.
Oh, look at this. Look at this.
Please.
Oh, look at that. BVS. Oh, more comic book accuracy. How about that? Oh, but because we care, we would actually deep dive into this stuff and pull up the receipts. The other people are just on there rubbing their fingers together, typing on the keyboards with names like Kevin O567325T5XYZ.
125799112.
That's a bot. That's a shill.
Or
with following 4 people with 11 followers who just started an account in 2024 or 2025.
Matthew Day 2576593.
Yep, that's what I'm gonna start. That's what I'm gonna start calling all y'all Matthew Days. Everybody's gonna be a Matthew Day. They'll be like, "Who is that?"
If you know, you know.
Yeah, exactly. Who's Matthew Day?
Wherever we say Matthew Day, if you know, you know. If you don't know, you're gonna have to go back.
But anyway, the point here is this: stop saying it needs to be done in animation or comic book form. That, number one, is a slap in the fucking face. Point blank. Number two, it's a slap in the fucking face. Number three, it's a slap in the face of the fandom. And number four, it's a slap in the face of Zack Snyder.
Mm-hmm.
It's a slap in the face all around the table. Period. You don't take this man's body of work, which, by the way, wasn't just those 5 movies. And I made mention of this on Twitter the other day. I said, if you think it was just those 5, and by the way, it wasn't originally those 5. Keep that in mind. It wasn't set up that way. But remember, they wanted to force a BVS, so he had to change his whole structure into a 5-act to do his thing with Superman, with Kal-El, with Henry Cavill. So, besides those 5 films, he was probably going to do a Man of Steel suit, so we'll say 6. He wasn't going to do the entire universe. Then it was going to be a Cyborg film, Green Lantern, Martian Manhunter,
a proper Flash film.
The proper Flashpoint film with using Flashpoint using
Jeffrey D. Morgan as
as a Flashpoint Batman. Lauren Cohen from The Walking Dead. They work together, by the way. They're in Walking Dead, Dead City. The great Lauren Cohen. She was going to be that
Joker.
version of the Flashpoint Joker. It was going to be awesome.
Mm-hmm.
So we had a full slate. We had a full docket ready to go. And now here we are.
Back at square one.
And if you think we're going to stop, even if, okay, let's say, okay, because I know Lunacy will flop. Let's say, okay, another studio gets the rights to DC. Let's assume Netflix doesn't get it.
Mm-hmm.
Do we want Netflix to get it? Absolutely, because Netflix has pretty much proven to all of us, all hail Zack Snyder.
Mm-hmm. They work with Zack. They've they got his profile picture on their platform, bro. Like
let's talk about Netflix's grade scorecard report card, shall we? Mm-hmm. Almost $1,000 a share. It generally hangs around $950 to $970. Fluctuates every now and again. It's the market, but almost $1,000 a share. I can't afford one share from Netflix.
You know what? Hold on.
That's how big they are.
Let me pull that up, Charles. Give me 1 second.
I can afford plenty of shares from WBD, though.
Well, we're going to get there. 1 second. Let me just pull this up. Give me 1 second here, gentlemen.
But I'm afraid buying shares in WBD isn't going to benefit you in any way, brother.
Oh, no. I wouldn't dare waste my money.
So $960.29, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
What is he doing? Are we demonstrating? Is that what's happening here?
Look. Yeah, he demonstrating.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
Phil standing on business.
8, 9, 20, 920, 940, 960. A quarter. 1 penny.
They don't make the pennies anymore. That's done, bro.
4 pennies. So, allow me, gentlemen. That is what one share
is worth at Netflix right now. One share.
Now,
that's almost my mortgage.
Now, let me explain something here. When we are dealing with shills that are trying to control narratives, like a certain white guy that we're going to talk about you in a minute. Don't worry, we're going to get to you, Robert Meyer Burnett. And explaining to people that, but the Snyder Cut doesn't exist. It shouldn't exist. It doesn't have the directors don't have copies. Blah, 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 blah. Okay. You are shilling for a company that's worth. Oh, wait. You know what? I'm sorry. My mistake. I apologize. I'm so sorry.
He needs to break this down further. It looks like. Let's see what we got.
Further. So.
What is that you got there, buddy?
BB is worth.
How many pennies is that, Phil?
Oh, I'm sorry. You know what? Oh, God damn it. I apologize. I'm so sorry. There's 1,000 pennies, but let me hold on. So I got to take 1 penny out and add. So it's 999 pennies and 3/4. That's how much
now
WBD is worth. You're
right there
for a company worth
pennies.
Fucking
stocks with pennies on the dollar. That is a report card. I don't know how many times I got to keep repeating this, but they care about P&L reports. If you were a stockholder, if you were an investor, you would care about your P&L reports. What are P&L reports again? Oh, it's just those little quarterly reports that go out every quarter during the year just to see how a company is doing. The big money is you want to stay in the black. That's always good. If you're in the red,
you got a problem. You got a problem.
That's bad.
Mm-hmm.
So for all of you who like to
Go ahead.
I was just going to say, for all of you who like to brag and say James Gunn is going to save DC.
WBD knows what's good. WBD knows what's good.
Oh yeah. We're going to get to that. We're going to get to the whole WBD knows what's good and know what they have and all of that. Okay. Well, we're going to get to it. Don't worry about it, Mr. Burnett. We'll talk about it. If you're watching, by the way, that invite is still there for you, buddy. If you want to come on the show and talk about it, we can talk about it. If you watch,
and we can talk about this too.
We can talk about that.
This is how much that company that you're shilling for is worth. Just in case you missed that part. But
do you think those investors? Do you think all of those investors and backers and everybody are? Do you think that they're okay with the fact that the money that they gave over is now worth only $10 per share that they put in out of their pocket? Do you think that they should be happy with David Zaslav? I wouldn't be. If I invested millions of dollars into you and now my return is probably only thousands of dollars, hundreds of dollars, and I'm just spitballing a number here, how would you feel? You have no reach to jump on a digital platform just because you have a digital platform and lie to people, because that's what you're doing. WB is lying to people. Robert Meyer Burnett is lying to people. John Campea is lying to people. I am so sick of this "we like Zack Snyder" butt shit.
Oh wait,
do me a favor.
John Campea? Did you say Campea?
Yeah, I mentioned Campea. Bring it up.
You mean this guy?
Now, this clown right here, John Campea. Would anybody like to guess how old he is?
Bro, he's got a toilet seat on his head.
He looks just as stupid. Okay, just as stupid as the real Peacemaker. Just as dumb, just as retarded. No disrespect to John Cena, but you're a clown, dude. How much is WBD paying you to put on that suit? And don't tell me they're not paying you, bro. Don't tell me they're not paying you.
Of course.
And by the way, we know why you dressed up like that. Because some black man, shout out to Skywalker, the Jedi, dressed up and give the DC fandom hope. And a certain Colonel Sanders got so butthurt that he told his buddy Campea, do this.
And he did
Come to the stream, Robert Meyer Burnett, and tell us we're wrong. Live on camera. Come to the podcast. We'll send you a link. Tell us we're fucking wrong. Because you think we don't have people on the inside? Yes, we fucking do. Just so you know.
And I'm going to tell you like this, Mr. Robert Meyer Burnett. We are here for one specific reason. I don't care if you really like Zack Snyder or not. I don't think you do. I think you bullshitting. But let's just say that you did. Let's just say that you actually championed Zack Snyder and the Man of Steel just like you told me you did. And that was me you were talking to, by the way, if you didn't know what my face was.
Oh, like. I can pull the tweets if you want.
I'm a black dude. Blackie's here, and Blackie's going to tell you about yourself.
He's black.
I'm black.
He is.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. You are.
So I'm going to tell you like this. I may not look it, but Mr. Burnett, I am almost 52 years old. You should be ashamed of yourself, if I'm being honest, because you're older than I am. Aren't you almost 60? Aren't you almost as old as James Gunn? Still talking like you wearing feety pajamas and a cape and a binky in your mouth? Here it is. Thank you for pulling that up.
Is that the one?
Pull it up. Stretch that up. Yeah, that's the one. Right there. Let me see. This Superman conversation is just fucking ridiculous. The easiest way to get rid of certain fans is to bring up sex. Then they go away screaming in terror. Now, what was the context behind you posting that, Mr. Robert Meyer Burnett? Again, if you pull up his picture, how old is this man? Look at him.
Let's find out.
And you are stomping the ground and championing a man who has some questionable characteristics about himself.
Beyond questionable.
A questionable past. And I'm not saying he did anything. 57 years old. He's older than me.
Mm-hmm.
I don't care what your acolytes are, Mr. Burnett. I don't care what you know. I don't care about your long storied history in cinematography. What you said today on my thread, the Lethal Geeks, was absolutely fucking ridiculous. No, Mr. Robert Meyer Burnett, I'm not going to get the fuck out of here. I'm going to stay the fuck in your shit. Because you opened your mouth about something that you really don't care about. We care about this bullshit. You don't. That's why you're getting paid. And and don't say you're not. We don't get merch from We don't get merch from WBD.
You want to tell me it wasn't WBD that provided him with that Peacemaker costume?
We don't get movie tickets and free movie passes from WBD. We're up here every other week speaking our business, standing on business, and standing on principle. And that's what this whole thing is about. And you have none.
And I also want to add, we don't get any outside funding. We are self-funded.
By the way, we don't advertise. We don't advertise good night sleepy powder. We don't advertise aspirin. We don't advertise shit. We get up here and we speak truth. Now, regarding Superman, James Gunn is not doing anything different other than bringing a Guardians of the Galaxy Superman, just like I told you earlier. You told me I was incorrect. Yet, the news has already come out that this is going to be a Guardians of the Galaxy Superman. So you're saying that source was a liar? We know who James Gunn is advertising to. He's advertising to toddlers. He's advertising to kids, teenagers, and he is advertising, God bless him, to 60-year-old men who act like they are children. To wit, Mr. Robert Meyer Burnett. We didn't get in this for a Marvel person like James Gunn to come over here and destroy what DC actually is. And he is destroying it. He came out and said The Flash was one of the best movies he ever had. How much did The Flash lose at the theater?
Oof, a lot. As a matter of fact, Charles, read this.
This is from Sin Havoc. $400 million loss potentially for Superman L just to start. Ooh. They are already calculating that.
Ooh.
How much money is it worth? How much money is it worth for you to get up there and lie? Pennies? I'm going to keep it real with you. How much money is it worth for you to lie? I care about this fucking shit. I don't know if you care. Maybe you do. But maybe you're so commercialized now that anybody that decides to run DC, you're all with it.
You can't play
because we don't like a segment or the direction and the way DC is going. Suddenly, we're not DC fans. We are absolutely fucking DC fans because we liked what we had. It was profitable the way it was. By the way, I heard a little something in the grapevine. Did you know Donner did not want his Superman to be like that?
Mm-hmm.
Who all knows that? Richard Donner did not want his Superman to be like that. And Robert Meyer Burnett said that Superman was full of joy, full of hope, full of this and full of that. No, it wasn't. Go back and watch 78 Superman again. It had humor in it. Most of the humor came from Otis, Miss Tessmacher, and from Lex Luthor. That's where most of the comedy was actually at. If you watch it, that comedy didn't come from Superman. That comedy didn't come from Lois. They had their little quips and their little funny shit in there, sure. And Richard Donner did not want that movie to be like that. He wanted it to be more like, guess what? Man of fucking Steel.
He wanted a serious take on Superman.
He wanted a serious take on Superman. Oh, by the way, I pulled something earlier. Hang on a second. Let me see if I can find it. Give me just a second, fellas.
Yes, sir.
Y'all can keep on chatting it up while I'm looking for what I'm looking for here.
So yeah, Robert, this is how much you're shilling for.
Pennies.
And it's important for me to highlight this to all of you out there because, again, put your money where your mouth is.
You know, and when we hear that whole narrative, Netflix can't afford the Snyderverse. Like, come on, guys, come on.
They could afford it.
So instead of bringing up their shares, brother, why don't you go ahead and bring up what Netflix is worth? Bring their actual worth up, and tell us again that they can't afford it.
The stock?
No, not the stock, brother. How much that company is worth? Netflix. How much they're worth? Bring up their worth.
They are worth $410.77 billion US dollars.
I'm sorry. Can you say that again, Rox?
$410.77 billion US dollars.
They can buy WBD and DC twice over with money left over. Make it make sense. Make that make sense.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
One share, guys.
That's one share. Look how much this company is worth, and you trying to tell me that they can't afford it? Do you know that their gross unadjusted debt is $12 billion? That's it. That's pocket change. That's how much debt they have. $12 billion. And you trying to tell me they can't squeeze that out of that $410 billion?
If they could get WWE, live sports, NFL, no, they can't.
I'm
get
telling
DC.
you,
No,
and
they can't afford
UFC is coming with Zack Snyder's UFC movie. I guarantee you, man, something's in the work at Netflix to get UFC over there. And when that happens, like, come on, bro, they're going to be the king of live sports.
I can't find what I'm looking for, but it was a. I don't mean to cut you off, Rox, but it was a quote from John Byrne about Superman, and he was saying that basically. I'm paraphrasing now, but he was saying basically, if Superman is in that situation, you absolutely do what you got to do. He was referring to Zod. When you are in that particular type of situation, you do what you have to do. He wasn't talking about a soft Superman. Tell me, where was Zod supposed to be imprisoned by the Man of Steel, this wet behind the ears Smallville boy who got into his first fight with his first villain? Tell me exactly where he was supposed to take Zod after he didn't kill him, didn't break his neck, and just subdued him somehow. Let's just say he was able to do that.
Now, keep in mind, there was also no red sun technology at the time. This is Superman's first outing. You know, the world
no red sun.
Yeah,
no prison, no technology whatsoever.
Doesn't know how to control Kryptonians yet.
The Black Zero ship was destroyed. He couldn't send them back through there. So what's your excuse? What's your excuse for Christopher Reeve Superman having a reverse red sun room in the Fortress of Solitude, taking away Zod, Ursula, and Nod's powers at the same time, breaking his hand, picking him up, throwing him down a snowy crevice, having Lois Lane punch Ursula in the face and knock her in there as well? That's murder.
And the fans had no problem.
No problem with that,
No
huh?
problem.
Because it's 78 Superman, right? Or was it because it's Zack Snyder? Which is it?
And by the way, guys, Christopher Reeves, Robert, this is for you. The Superman that you love, Christopher Reeves did not want to continue being Superman. Why? Because just like Donner, he wanted to take it serious, not a comedy. Just like Zack and Henry, they want to take it seriously. But no, you guys wanted to make it a comedy because you're still wearing fucking diapers.
Are you gonna shit on Richard Donner now? May he rest in peace, because he actually wanted a serious Superman take and not the one you actually saw. that he put out. Why do you think he didn't do Superman 2?
And then the crazy thing is when shit gets so bad down the road that eventually you get another Superman quest for peace. You know what I mean? All you guys are going to be begging for the same thing over. Oh, like we can't do this. The universe is too messed up now. It's not serious. Nobody's enjoying it. This all happened before. This all happened once. That's what happened to the original Superman series. They corporatized it too much. They made it too soft. You know?
Let me tell you something about WBD for a little bit of history for you guys. The actual Warner brothers, the four brothers that created this empire, Warner Brothers. Their mandate was a director's studio. Do you know what a director's studio is?
I would assume
it is a studio. No, you can answer the question, Brock. You probably know. What's a director's studio, bro?
I'm going to assume that it's a studio driven by director's visions. It's a studio where you are allowing the director to take the reins and do what they need to do.
Boom. You promised us you can make us good stuff. We're going to give you lots of money to make good stuff. And we'll stay the fuck out of the way. That was WBD's mandate. Now, giving them credit, they have released some bangers non-comic book related over the years.
Lethal Weapon.
But see, that's the thing right there. Had you stuck to no, bring it up and up.
Yeah. That one of the previous ones.
Yeah, hold on. Here we go. This one. All right. I'm off the subject, but I need to read this. This was another one from Robert Meyer Burnett. He said, no, I'm right. The films speak for themselves. Reeves' Superman is full of joy, humor, and charm. It did have charm. It had a little bit of humor, not a lot. And it did have joy. Man of Steel, which I actually love, has no charm at all. Okay, now I want you to imagine. Just imagine. Now notice he said three things there: joy, humor, and charm. He just said no charm at all. Did it have humor then, Mr. Robert Meyer Burnett? Did it have joy? Because I happen to see all three of those categories in Man of Steel. Were you paying attention to it? Or were you too busy worried about the seriousness of an alien who looks human, who goes through the same shit as everybody else does, and that somehow made you frightened? Is that what happened? Because he wasn't smiling with his hands on his hips all the time, with a fake ass grin, saving cats from trees and walking old ladies across the street? That's not real, bro. Where do you live?
Maybe he needs a reminder.
The problem is, I'm not sure the people of Earth can be either.
Sometimes you have to take a leap of faith first. The trust part comes later.
You know what that line was? Let me explain to you. Let me break it down what that line was. Sometimes you have to take a leap of faith first. The trust part comes later. In other words, that priest said in a nutshell what his mama told him. You are under no obligation to help us. You are under no obligation. You weren't born on Earth. You don't have to help these people if you want to, or help them. But when you help them, give them your all. Trust them. That's what that priest was saying. You don't owe these people shit, because that is the truth. That is the story I want to hear. That is a story expounding on Superman's character, who he is as a person. Any one of us with that type of weight on our shoulders wouldn't be smiling all the time, showing out. Having Clark run across a train and let people see him as he's displaying his powers. Remember that in 78? Remember the train scene when he was running? He was running beside a train and then jumped over the track to beat the train for all to see.
I just don't understand.
We have comic books that his dad literally tells him that Zack Snyder got directly from the comics. Don't do that shit. You are not ready. But you will be ready.
Charles, I don't understand how a man can claim that he is a champion of Man of Steel. that he loves Man of Steel, yet still put out a tweet like this.
Like, oh, bro, that would be like me telling my wife, "Honey, I love you so much, but I find you joyless and you have no charm." What?
Does that make sense?
Divorced. Well, look at this. Look at this. This is everything in one image Snyder Superman lacked. Okay.
Pull them on up, Phil. I know you got them. Give them to me. I hope you're watching, Mr. Burnett. Now, this picture, this was...
Was that the one?
Now.
It works.
That's all right. That's it works. But this picture here, this was your picture. This was your definitive proof that Man of Steel had nothing on this guy right here. All right. Do your thing, bro. This is everything in one image Snyder Superman lacked. Really? Phil, what you got for me, brother?
All right. You've got our attention. What is it you want?
I would like to speak to Lois Lane.
What makes you think she's here?
Don't play games with me, General. I'll surrender. But only if you guarantee Lois's freedom.
What? Did I do something wrong?
Charles, you there, buddy?
Charles.
I think he's having an issue.
Okay. Sorry, guys. Tech issue. But overall, guys, listen, the point that we're trying to make here, and listen, we know, Robert, you're going to be, if you're not watching now, you'll be watching it later, or your stooges will be watching it. Don't stop fucking around. Pretty much that's what we're trying to say. All right? Internet is pretty much loud, and I'm sorry.
Charles, we hear you, buddy. Maybe he doesn't hear us.
Probably. Okay. Charles. Okay, go ahead. All right. So, sorry, guys. Overall, yes. What we're trying to say here is that we're the new media now. And we're not going to stop until you give us what we want. You give us what it was promised to us. A fucking DC saga. A Lord of the Rings type story. We're only halfway in that story. So, Robert, if you don't like Zack Snyder, I could give 3 fucking shits if you like Zack Snyder or not. John Campia, stop fucking dick sucking Zack Snyder all the time, and Henry Cavill, because my boy Henry Cavill, shut the fuck up, all right? Enough is enough. All right? Enough is enough.
Oh, dude.
By the way, this is an official statement that I'm going to make on behalf of all of us, because, yeah, a lot of shills are out there, but I think they need a reminder. The Lethal Geeks, we're not for sale. You can come and reach us out, DM us, and try to offer us, oh, we're going to give you some scoops. We can give you access. We can do this and that. No.
This is a big number. Gosh, I am not for sale. And even if I was, you're several zeros short. Now, you may be able to buy your man sausage for that, but to me it just looks rude at breakfast.
Let's throw Charles on mute until he gets back, brother.
He is on mute.
Oh, okay.
He is on mute.
Because I was hearing him before. It's all good.
All right. So what other tweets do we have here from Mr. Robert Meyer Burnett? So nope. Let's see what else we got here. Here's the reason Zack Snyder's Man of Steel trilogy underperformed. I say this as a fan. There is no joy in those films. There's no humor. There's no warmth. They're relentless portions. They needed Superman on the roof with Lois. Knowing her underwear is pink. Seriously? Come on, dude. How old are you again? Oh, yeah, 57. I'm 41. I don't say this shit. My girlfriend would dump my ass if I would say this type of shit.
It's just weird. It's just cringe, dude. It's like, I could love comic books. I could love these characters. I could love Lois Lane. I could love Superman. But, like, I don't think about my favorite comic book characters in a sexual way, dude. It's just, it's cringy. It's awkward. Grow up. Grow the fuck up, bro.
Fuck up. Exactly. Charles, are you good now?
I think he's still having some issues, bro.
All right. I'm going to mute you again, Charles. All right.
I don't even think he can hear us.
Okay, that's fine. We'll give him another minute. Curly, I don't believe it. Yeah.
Yep. That's sad, man. That's sad that's how a grown man, a 57-year-old grown man.
Now, I'm going to say something else. I'm going to say something else about Mr. Robert Meyer Burnett. You're a Star Trek fan because you say that all the fucking time, and that's okay. If you are a Star Trek fan, hey, there are Harry Potter fans out there. There are Marvel fans, Star Wars fans. And what happened with Star Trek? Okay, 3 seasons got canceled. And what did you guys do for fucking years? And mind you, there was no Twitter. There was no Facebook. There was no Instagram. There was no goddamn internet. What did you guys have in order to fight these corporations, these studios, so you can get the IP that you wanted? Mail. Corporate mail. For years and years and years and conventions and conventions. How long did it take to get the first Star Trek movie? About 10 years, give or take? 10, 15 years? I'm not a Star Trek fan, so I don't know. If someone in the chat can tell me. Exactly. Star Trek is the original Star.
Thank you, Dennis.
You earned a drop.
This is the last Grossman. Who is this?
This is Flaming Dragon!
Oh, okay. Flaming Dragon. Fuckface. First, take a big step back and literally fuck your own face! Now, I don't know what kind of pan-Pacific bullshit power play you're trying to pull here, but Asia Jack is my territory. So whatever you're thinking, you better think again. Otherwise, I'm going to have to head down there, and I will rain down on a godly fucking firestorm upon you. You're going to have to call the fucking United Nations and get a fucking binding resolution to keep me from fucking destroying you. I am talking scorched earth, motherfucker. I will massacre you. I will fuck you up!
Gentlemen, can you hear me?
We can hear you now, Charles.
Awesome. All right.
Welcome back,
Sorry
buddy.
about that, folks.
Sorry, I had a Bluetooth mouse and a Bluetooth headset, and both of them died at the same time. So
Unprepared Charles. Hashtag
Unprepared Charles. It's all good, brother. It's all good. We were holding down the fort while you were gone.
Yeah, that was wild. All right, I'm back. My wife provided me with her mouse, so we're good.
All right, Charles, do you got anything else you want to add on the Robert Myers Burnett situation?
I wanted to say this, in all honesty. When he first popped on my radar, I followed him. And I liked a lot of what he had to say. He's a Trekkie. He talks about Star Wars a lot. He's like, he was in the zeitgeist with us as far as the geek stuff goes. But when it came to Zack Snyder, no. I'm sorry, but if a man of your breadth of knowledge about film and TV and stuff, if you should know what type of film Zack Snyder was making when he made that film. You should know that. Agreed. Instinctively, you should know it more than me.
He's been in this game longer than us.
He's been in this game longer than us, so he should have known what type of film that Man of Steel actually was, and he dropped the ball. Nope, he's not wearing tights and drawers on the outside, and he's not making me feel good on the inside like I was 5 years old. You are a grown man.
Or a goofy and clumsy Clark Kent.
Or goofy and clumsy. Again, and I put this on Twitter.
That's the word.
I don't care if you didn't get the girl in high school, if you were the nerd that got pushed in the locker, if you the one, I don't care about all that. Because that type of film seems to be what attracts you people. Is the loser gets the girl and the loser is stupid and goofy and no. We don't want Star-Lord shit in DC. We don't want to see a dance off. We don't want to see Superman challenge Darkseid to a dance off. We don't want to see that shit.
I could see James doing that now that you said it. God damn it.
He'd do it just out of spite because he's a child.
Well, he did do a dance like behind the scenes of Guardians 3. That I did see.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So this is what I want to say. You can champion James Gunn's work all you want to. You can celebrate this man's entire bodies of work, but do so honestly. Because so far, as much as y'all have poked and prodded and everything else, you have seen nothing on Zack Snyder online or anywhere else other than he's a kind person. He lost a child. And he happened to make a film that you bitches didn't like. Mm-hmm. And went scorched earth on him for no reason.
Phil, pull up Frank C's comment again.
All because of your narrow vision when it comes to storytelling. And that's another thing. Yeah, I'm going to read his. Frank C. People like R&B don't understand that we no longer live in 78. Zack Superman is in the present world. Correct. Robert Meyer Burnett strikes me as a type of person, and I can't blame him when it comes to certain things, that likes to live in the past. A lot. He likes to live in the past a lot. If you watch his show, you will hear him talk about it. You are a grown man. How is it that this type of juvenile behavior attracts you? I don't understand that.
Pull up Danger's comment.
78 Superman was my dad's Superman. You know how old I was in 78, Robert Meyer Burnett? I was 5. I was 5 years old in 78. I watched Superman. I loved it. But that wasn't my Superman. When I got older, I gravitated toward DC simply because of the type of stories that DC told. Okay? And I'm going to keep it real with you. I'm attracted to DC simply because growing up the way I grew up, those type of characters, Batman, Superman and his plight, the Waynes, what was going on in Gotham, I can relate to that. I can relate to DC in the way that story is told. That's why I'm attracted to DC. It wasn't kiddie. It wasn't childish. It was real. Zack Snyder dared to tell an adult, real, contemporary story on a superhero, and y'all massacred him for that.
Can I read?
You got...
Sorry, I want to read Dave's comment real quick.
Yeah, we're going to read it. And now we got shills and bots and everything else popping up in the digital age simply because you guys cannot accept moving on from a 1978 film. How many times, and I asked you this on X Twitter. I asked you this at the end of that, everything that we were talking about, Robert Meyer Burnett. How many ways can you tell a Superman story telling it the way you want it told? Just name me any other way that you can tell a Superman story and have it be compelling and have it be good and have it be serious and have it be something that everybody loves. Tell me how many ways can you tell a Superman story just like that? Do you think that everybody who's a Superman fan actually want to keep seeing the same rendition of Superman over and over and over again?
I don't.
It's why Superman Returns failed.
Exactly. Robert Meyer, you are a cinephile. You should know this. This is stuff that you should already know.
I think Robert was attached to that movie. I'm pretty sure I saw something that says he was attached to Superman Returns. So he should know this.
But yeah, and it failed. That's the point we're making here. It failed. We got Tim Burton's Superman. Batman, excuse me. Great. We get Schumacher's, and it's a joke. Mm-hmm. Then we get Superman Returns because everybody's, I miss Christopher Reeves. He was such a great Superman. And then you get it, and it failed.
It was a snore fest.
Why did it fail, Robert Meyer Burnett? Shout out to Brandon Roth, who played a great Superman, by the way. It was the story around him that was trash. Oh, I know why it failed, because we already saw that.
Not only that, because this generation is not invested in Christopher Reeve's Superman anymore. People don't care. We're long past that, bro. Long past that. And there's a couple things I got to highlight real quick first. First off, Divas Mazzara said Zack Snyder made Superman the real one from the comics. All the other Superman were trying to impersonate Christopher Reeves.
There you go.
Danger right here. Read Danger.
Seriously think, this is from Danger. I seriously think one reason why these people talk shit about Cavill is because they're intimidated by him. Successful, in shape, classy, and is a nerd. Complete opposite of them. Yeah. Mm-hmm. I'm pretty sure all of these people's personal feelings are in it. I'm positive of that. Well, see, here's the thing. My personal feelings only extend as far as good storytelling. What does that mean? That means that if Zack Snyder pulled up to the cut at WBD and said, I'm going to give you the goofiest Superman that ever lived, I'm not going to watch that shit.
We certainly wouldn't be on this podcast right now if that was the case.
We would not be on this podcast right now talking about this if that was Zack Snyder's stick. If it were James Gunn, that was the serious one, that had the serious tone and was serious about telling adult stories, in a parallel universe, it would be James Gunn that we're talking about championing and not Zack Snyder. So let me make that perfectly clear. Coming out of my mouth. Fatal J made a comment about the suit, saying that if Cavill wore the suit, we'd be all up in arms about it. No, we wouldn't like that shit either.
I wouldn't like the suit. It doesn't define Cavill. Cavill would lose all his definition.
Exactly. So no disrespect, Fatal J, but no. Even if Snyder designed that suit and had Cavill step in it, not even if Jesus came down from heaven and said, come on, guys, give it a chance, I still would say no. There is absolutely no way in hell y'all think that the Cavill suit is not superior to a suit that took nothing to design, that was based off of look like a Star-Lord costume from Guardians of the Galaxy, and you're trying to tell me that that's not where this man is going?
Real quick, Charles, Dennis Medina, these people obsess over Superman 78, yet reject the thought process of originality that made that movie work.
1 second, hold on. I was just...
You're stuck in your feelings way worse than we are, and you're stuck in the past. That's the problem.
Where's Dennis here? Oh, here it is. All right.
Shout out to Dennis Medina.
They reject the thought
Superman
process of originality.
You reject it. You call yourselves loving the story and love storytelling. How? Explain to me how you love storytelling when your storytelling is limited to a one-dimensional Superman in a box that you won't let out because you're afraid of him becoming something else, or you're afraid of exploring the side of Superman that, by the way, in all intents and purposes, he did grow up on Earth, so technically that would make him human. He doesn't have any real traits of a Kryptonian if you actually think about that. Mm-hmm. So,
mind you, the Kryptonians who have trained all their lives to do what they did.
Where do you think hope and optimism comes from? You think that hope and optimism comes from, hey, you show me hope and optimism? If he's the one that's got to show you hope and optimism, then he's got to go through what you've gone through and then become that beacon. It doesn't just, hope and optimism doesn't just fall out of the sky.
It's a journey that the character needs to go on.
What do you guys think the actual definition of hope is? What is hope? Anybody know? Or without looking it up, anybody can tell me what hope is.
To me, it's that feeling of inspiration to do better or to attain better. You know, that's the best way I could put it.
Hope Hope is having the attitude and the seriousness and the feeling and the emotion that even though things are not the way you want them to be, they will someday turn out right. That's what the smile comes from.
Love it, Charles.
That's hope.
It's almost like to get to that smiling Superman, it has to be earned.
It
has to be earned.
You have to earn that. That's the point we're making here. Zack Snyder made a film about an alien who crashed on our planet, was sent to our planet, and had to go through what we go through in order to use that side of him to show us there's a better way. That was the point of Man of Steel. Not to show you a quippy, Superman with his hands on his hips and all this other kind of shit. That was not the story Zack was telling with Man of Steel. If you knew that, we wouldn't be discussing this shit right now. He chose to deconstruct Superman's identity, where he's from, where he is, and where he's going. In 5 movies. And you're trying to tell me you didn't want to wait for that? That would have been awesome to see.
It would have been
at the end of it all, at the end of his 5-story arc, he flies up again, he flies over the world, and he does his thing like Christopher Reeves did, and it's done. There's your hopeful Superman. There's your Superman with all of the hope and optimism. Right there. We just wanted it told over 5 stories versus 1 fucking film. That's it. We're here because of that. Because you are children. Because you can't get out of 78. I managed to get out of 78. My life was hell. I'm black and I grew up in the hood. I managed to get out of 78. I managed to get out of the 80s. Why can't you?
I'm going to read Danger's comment real quick. Exactly. You can't force
read this one, and then we're going to move into the next topic. All right.
Exactly. You can't force people to feel hope, and it can't be artificial. It has to be authentic and something you originally feel and resonate with. These DCU Superman fans don't understand that. Thank you, Danger.
So, to closing, and we'll move on to the next subject. Yes, we are DC. Yes, we are DC fans. No, we don't want to see DC fail. We do want WBD to be taught a lesson, though.
Oh, they're going to learn it the hard way.
The absolute wrong shepherds for this IP. For this IP to be told the way it should be told. The stories to be told the way they should be told. I'm not saying that there's not characters in there that James Gunn can't grab, and Zaslav gives him his own pocket of the universe so he can tell his goofy ass stories. Of course, I'm not saying that, but don't take characters like Peacemaker, like Vigilante, like Judo Master, and make them goofy like that. Because guess what, guys? In the Peacemaker comics, none of them were like that.
Nope.
Especially Vigilante, bro. Pull up that GIF of Vigilante. Can you pull that up for me?
What do you want me to pull up a Vigilante? I'm sorry?
Remember the photo I sent you?
Oh, yes. Okay, hold on.
Yeah. Pull up those. Yeah. And then we'll move on. But I want to point something out here.
I got to do it from the drive. Hold on.
Okay.
Because it didn't load on the other way. Where is it? Okay.
DC talks cyber cells. Cyber cells.
Now, I want you to look at this picture. Pull up the other ones. Go and do the other ones. Go and go to the next one. Now, you get the point, and then I want you to show the last one in there.
This one's painful for me.
Ugh. Now, that is Mr. Jason Momoa, Aquaman, that Zack Snyder brought to prominence as a serious warrior, a serious character. This is from a movie that James Gunn said that was the best movie he's ever seen, the best Flash movie he's ever seen. That's the scene right there.
Let's also remind the audience that this was the scene that James Gunn himself inserted into this film.
But you're trying to convince us that WBD knows exactly what it has? Okay, this is the last thing I'm going to say about that, and then we can move on. If DC knew what it had, they wouldn't be sitting at $10.70 a share.
If DC knew what it had, James Gunn would not be at WB right now if they knew what they had.
If WBD knew what they had, there would not be a second Marvel person trying to destroy DC, a la Joss Whedon.
Oh,
don't get it twisted.
Before I forget. Robert Meyer Burnett, you're making it too easy for tonight. Look what he said.
What they have. If Warner Brothers knows what they have, they know what's good and what's not good. And I think that they're making. If Warner Brothers knows what they have, they know.
Look at this motherfucker. Warner Brothers knows what they have. They know what they have is good and not good. No, they don't. $10.70 a share. Explain it to me, Robert Meyer Burnett.
Right here, Robert. Here are the pennies. One stock.
Explain it to me. Make the financials make sense for WBD knowing what they have, and they're in the boat that they're in. 9 flops, bro. 9. I'm sorry. 10, 11. I lost count. You got Mickey 7 coming in now. This stuff is starting to bleed over to their actual movies that are not DC now. They're starting to fail at that because people don't trust them.
I think it's called Mickey 17.
Mickey 17. There we go. They don't trust WBD, so their comic book films are failing too. They don't trust them. There's a reason behind that, guys. We're not up here getting paid to do any of this stuff. We are here for one reason only. We want to see real, true adult storytelling the way Zack Snyder did it. He had the perfect universe lined up. We want his universe finished. That's our only reason for being here. If you don't like that, don't come on the threads. If you don't want to talk to us, don't show up. If you don't like what we're saying about Zack Snyder, don't come to the Lethal Geeks threads on X Twitter. Stay out of our threads. Seriously. Because I'm going to light your asses up every time you go in there. And by the way, if you're wondering who it is that's always talking shit, that's me. If you're wondering who it is, every time you see something on Twitter that the Lethal Geeks has put up, that's me. Look at my face. Cam the fuck up.
Wait.
Camera? I'm not hiding.
Is that him?
I'm not hiding. Who?
Is that you, Charles?
Who?
So you're the black guy on Twitter?
Yes.
Really?
Okay. So, okay. Look, the guy goes, but you're black. He's black.
He's black.
So, all y'all that like to roll in my threads, talking that shit. Phil and Rocks don't do it. It's me. I'm the one that's doing that shit. Yep. So every time you roll in my threads and talk smack, I'm gonna cut you down and I'm gonna block you. If you got something intelligent to say, something about film, movie, literature, TV, Shakespeare, all that good shit, I'm with you. Express your opinion. Say what you like about Gunn, what you like about Zack Snyder, what you don't. I don't care. As long as you're being respectful and you're in these threads, be respectful. Mm-hmm. But if you come in our threads talking shit, I'm gonna send you home back to your mama with your tail tucked between your legs. Have her pull out your titty, pull that titty out, suck that titty, and then you can get the fuck off my thread. Because I am too old for this shit. Literally. I don't have to be here for this. I'm here because I want to see this man's work finished. I'm here because this man was done wrong. I'm here because they use his family tragedy to move on and fuck up his universe. That's why we are here.
Here I was thinking that you were here because you just enjoyed my beautiful face.
So if you don't want us talking shit about Gunn and like us talking shit about Gunn, we have opinions about Gunn and we're gonna speak our shit. But we stand on principle here. We stand on truth. A man was done wrong. It needs to be made right. So we can all move on. And you never have to fucking see my face again. How would you like it if they did the same thing to James Gunn? How would you? Oh, by the way, he was righteously fired for the shit that he did. And believe it or not, back in 2011, 2012, I said, let that man finish his goddamn Guardians of Galaxy films. I said that shit.
And I did too.
And you know
what this dude?
And you know what's funny, guys, is that chances are this exact same shit is going to happen to James Gunn. Once Superman fails, you guys think you're going to get more James Gunn DCU?
They are projecting. What does Sin Havoc say? They're projecting
$400 million loss.
Loss. How can look at that? How can you defend that and say, "Oh, everything's fine"?
WB knows what they're doing. They know what's good. They know it's good.
They're worth $20 billion and they're upside down $40 billion in debt.
You see this all the time at the level of a top producer who, between them or separately, will make flop after flop after flop after flop. I'm not going to name them, but I know who they are. And they're not all American either. And they still get paid huge sums of money for being in films that nobody wants to see. And producers make pictures out of which they take enormous sums of money. And the films, again, are not films people want to see. They're always going to blame somebody else. Always. Not their fault. No, you were the one who said, or whatever. And there's a word for that. It's called upward failure. You see it all the time.
Boom. Right there. He said it in one line. You see it all the time. You are too busy trying to chase what everybody else is doing instead of creating originality based off of what your fucking studio was originally designed to do by those four Warner's brothers. You dropped the ball, especially with this DC IP. Give it to somebody else and let them handle it. That's it, because you can't fix it. You can't fix what you did. I would love for you to fix what you did.
Oh, that ship has sailed.
That ship has sailed now.
Sailed.
So DC, I love DC. So don't tell me I don't love DC.
Trust me, if we didn't love DC, we wouldn't be here right now, guys.
DC. Okay, I love DC. What I don't like is WBD and the idiots that run it. That's what I don't like. To see them fail, I'm ready for it. And let me tell you something. Come July 11th, 2025, Jurassic Park, probably the Fantastic Four, probably the Smurf movie, and a couple other ones that comes out right around that time. They are going to rain fire and brimstone at the box office.
And that stock in WBD is
that's going to happen.
Pennies.
Not one penny, guys. We are not going to spend our money to see a goofy ass Superman that is a reminiscent of his last three Guardians of the Galaxy film, his Suicide Squad film, his Peacemaker TV show, and his fucking Creature Commandos TV show. We are not going to spend our money on that bullshit.
Mm-hmm. Real quick, Charles, I'm getting some feedback again. I can hear it's like our podcast playing in the background.
Man, shut up. You just complaining.
We're good. I just want to let you know. All right. Let's what else we got?
Before we do that, before we move on to now, we're gonna move to our next one. But Charles, I'm sorry, I gotta drop this for you, dude. You heard this one tonight, buddy.
Simple Jack, the story of a mentally impaired farmhand who can talk to animals, was a box office disaster that many critics called one of the worst movies of all time.
I ain't got a good brain.
I think you've got a fine brain, Jack.
You make me happy.
How did Charles earn that?
I was prepared tonight.
Because July 11th, here comes Simple Jack.
Okay, there we go. I'm trying to make the connection here. I'm like, all right, guys.
All right.
Here comes Simple Jack. All right, moving on.
What do you know? So, okay. I want to share an image that I just got. And I want you to compare this, which is what we're going to get July 11th.
Where did you get that? Oh my god, that's so good. Who did that?
Sid Havish said it to me.
This is what y'all get. This is what y'all get for fucking with us. I'm saying this is going to continue until you stop fucking with us. That's it. We can't control this. This out in the open now. This is part of the ether. This happened because y'all keep fucking with us.
Oh,
and
man.
So why do I share this? Because what did I have in the banner here? Henry Cavill is still Superman to the general audience. And this is why I am pulling this up. Because our Superman, Henry Cavill, still pops up in the news very often.
Well, everyone knows we're about to see a super horse, but not everyone knew we'd have Superman here today. Henry Cavill's it. Henry?
Hello, mate. How you doing?
I mean, you're just adding a little bit of class to the parade ring.
I may be bringing it down, I'm afraid.
Excited by seeing a horse like Galloping Dijon?
Yes, indeed. Now, this is my first time being in the races, so I won't be able to talk about the horses, I'm afraid.
Yeah, but you can talk about being a superhero.
I certainly can. Yeah, do you have any questions about that?
Well, no. although, as you can see, I need as much help as I can get.
I do not know. You look fairly fantastic. Maybe Mr. Fantastic for you.
Well, people have said much nastier things than that, even though you've said it tongue-in-cheek. But it's a big day. We're hopefully about to see a horse win a third Gold Cup, and I hope you're really enjoying it.
I'm enjoying it.
Yeah.
It is a fantastic way to experience racing for the first time. Absolutely wonderful hosts, and really, really enjoying it.
Superman today, but who knows? Maybe a license to thrill, they say, in the future. Time will tell.
Time indeed will tell. Let's watch this space.
Nice to see you.
Thank you, guys.
How can you look at him dressed like that and just not see Bond, bro?
So you guys still think that he's not Superman?
He's Superman, bro. Like that's the thing. He's made that connection with the general audience, and that connection is not going anywhere. Whether they make another movie with him as Superman or not, for as long as this man is alive, he will be known to the fans, to the audience, as Superman. WB will never get away from that. Ever.
Finish his art. And then you want to do a proper reboot? Do a proper reboot. Do a proper reboot. Proper reboot.
After finishing his arc.
After finishing his story. I champion all artists, even that idiot James Gunn. I fought for him. I was like, what? They not going to let my man finish his saga with the Guardians of the Galaxy? That's not fair. Then I found out that this dude is every inch the tweets that he tweeted. That's not good.
Here's the thing with WBD.
Let's put our cards on the table here, General. You're scared of me because you can't control me. You don't. And you never will. But that doesn't mean I'm your enemy.
Then who is? Zod?
That's what I'm worried about.
Be that as it may, I've been given orders to hand you over to him.
Do what you have to do, General.
So I ask a question here. Do you prefer to see this man wear the cape again? Or do you prefer diaper Superman that we just saw? Personally, I prefer him to see him finish his story and as Bond.
Mm-hmm.
But David Cornswet, brother, sorry, dude.
And it's nothing against David Cornswet. He's like, from what I've seen him act, and he's an okay actor. Like, dude.
Look,
the thing is that accepting that position as Superman, you knew what you were getting into. You knew what you were getting into.
That's what
you can elaborate, Charles. You can elaborate.
Look, man, I'm not against anybody trying to make it in Hollywood, dude. I get it. This is your gig. This is what
we just had Wayne, who he said it himself.
Mm-hmm.
Not everybody makes it.
Not everybody makes it. I understand you were given this opportunity, so you want to dive right in and jump into it. That's no diss on him.
And same with Aaron Pierre as John Stewart.
Yes,
but you are a grown man. All the same, you made the decision to take that role, so you should have known that there would be consequences behind that. You should have known that the Zack Snyder fandom was going to be like, nope, not my Superman. He could be somebody else's Superman in the future when they fix this story and get Zack Snyder shit straight. Yeah, then okay, let's see what other kind of new Superman you got for us. But not until you finish Cavill's story. It's that simple.
And we're not the only ones that are saying this. You think? Okay, hold up. I'll pull this up because I also have it here. Another big guy, a big dog in the podcast world, said and mocked this Superman trailer. Joe Rogan, who had Zack Snyder in his podcast, and told him, "Yeah, I would love to finish my story. I would love to do the Dark Knight Returns," and he pretty much mocked.
He mocked the trailer.
The trailer. Where is it?
Superman.
Here it is. Hold on. I'm gonna pull that up because again, people have very short
memories.
Lucky for us, we don't. Hence why we're still here fighting for our Superman. Here it is.
Did you guys see the new Superman trailer?
Who's playing Superman? Is it Henry Cavill?
I
am not going to watch that movie.
A dog
saves him.
No, you're not. First of all,
Jesus Christ!
You're not watching it.
Wait a minute. Is that a fucking super dog?
Look at this.
Is that a super dog?
First of all,
look, it's got super dogs dragging him to safety. It's over.
Listen to me.
The dog.
With the sound.
Look at the dog. Why is the dog able to drag him? He's taking that girl up in the sky to make out with her.
Terrible,
hey, Matt, the
bro.
dog's a bad choice, huh?
Yeah.
But he's from another planet.
What happened to the original Superman?
Hold on.
No, not Christopher Reeve. He's paralyzed. I'm talking about the last guy.
Who was the last guy, guys?
Henry Cavill.
And right there at the beginning, they're saying, as soon as they saw the trailer, I'm out. You know what's funny? That is the exact reaction I got from every single Superman fan I've shown that trailer to. I'm out.
He's a general audience.
Saying it.
Joe Rogan, think of him what you want. No, he leaves a lot to be desired when it comes to knowing certain things about the world. But I will say this: he doesn't want to see a Superman that he just saw in that trailer. Neither do I. Neither does Rox. Neither does people in his chat. Neither does Phil. Nobody wants to see it. It is geared toward children. It is geared toward whiny teenagers, and it is geared toward whiny grown-ass men. That's the audience he's trying to pull. He's trying to pull his people that like him specifically. He's trying to get Marvel fans over to it too, which he's not going to do.
Grown men stuck in the 70s, bro.
Grow up. I always say it. Grow up. I am a 52-year-old man telling a 60-year-old man to grow up. Your hair is whiter than mine, bro. Come on, man.
Let's hear from the GOAT himself.
We make myth, modern myth. Movies are modern myth. Superhero movies are modern myth. Like, is it not the same when you say, like, we have Superman, right, and Batman or whatever? Are they not the mythic answer to a lot of modern questions about like how we should live? Like you say, Superman, is he not an invention, a 20th century invention that says to us, like, all the fucking shit that we run up against, whether it be war or like class struggle, or whether it be, inter relationships between different countries, does Superman not appear in answer to us primitive brains trying to figure out where we are? Like, you make a guy like Superman so he can answer some of those questions. He can represent a point of view that is not helpless in the face of the insanity that is like, the problems of the 20th century. And I think, and Batman in the same way, he's an answer to like the urban jungle needs a myth, just like the ancient jungle needed a myth, or the ancient, those all, like, in those days we'd say, like, why is the volcano erupting, right? But now we say, because we didn't know, we're just like, I guess it's the gods are mad,
right?
But now now the problem is like, why do I feel helpless in the face of technology or whatever,
right?
So we need an answer. We need an additional answer, and I think that's what I've always, and I feel like genre has allowed me to make those comments, like, we make myth, modern.
So we make myth, modern myth, guys. We were talking about modern myth here. We were just talking
We've
about
said it so many times about his mythological storytelling.
Clash of the Titans, Jason and the Argonauts, Medusa, modern myth. These the characters that he's talking about. Batman is Hades. Fucking Wonder Woman is you know what I mean? Is
a descendant of Ares, bro.
Ares, come on. That's what he's talking about. He was turning these heroes in these comic books into that Lord of the Rings style. Do you have any idea how epic that would have been? But no, we want fart and pee-pee jokes and
dancing
and dancing and red underwear on the outside with a Star-Lord looking suit and a crypto dog and a Lex
and
Luthor
an animated old man beating a minor.
Yeah. Oh, that I didn't see crypto. I wouldn't even
watch it. Don't even
put myself through that.
Creature Commander.
Watch that. I would not subject my ocular nerves to something like that because it would be insulting.
I think that the studio is going to learn a hard lesson come July about what the general audience thinks and where their support lies.
Sin Heaven called it, and I believe him. He said a projected $400 million loss. Bro, at some point, you got to say no. At some point, the investors have got to say, that's enough, bro. We're done here. Hostile takeover. Get the fuck out. Let's get some people in here to know what the fuck they doing.
And listen to their fucking
fans.
Listen to the damn audience and the fans.
Yep. We're the ones giving you our money. We're the ones giving you our money. Listen.
You want this? It's here for the taking. But you got to earn it. And it starts by letting Zack Snyder finish his story.
And I don't know in what world or what happened. I don't know if I was asleep. I don't know if I woke up to this in this weird dream, off this weird dream that somehow the world has changed, where audience members and fans who give their hard-earned money to your merch, to your t-shirts, to your movies, to your
comic books,
somehow we have to bow down to you, and you're going to tell us what you're going to give us? You forgot about how that relationship goes, didn't you? No, we give you money for what we want. You produce said content. We trust you to make more. We continue to give you money. That's how that shit works. WBD.
You don't take a man's project and call it a cul-de-sac the day it was released and not take into account the success of the film. You don't do those things. Yet that's what WB did.
But you know what? I think it's time to move to a next topic because this is the problem. This is why we are here. Because rumor has it
MCU getting cold feet with the Russo brothers. Now, I want to add context to this because the other day, go and pull it up, Phil. You know which one I'm talking about. The one I posted. The
absolutely,
you know Pop it.
Absolutely.
All right.
So why did we are talking about this? Because my time to shine. Well, go ahead. You go ahead, Charles.
Yeah.
I'll go back.
To add context to this, they had great success with the Winter Soldier. They had great success with Civil War, and I mainly give that credit to Marcus and McFeely because it was their script. But you only have one half of them now that's going to be doing this, by the way. The other ones, I can't remember which one it is. I can't remember if it was Marcus or McFeely that won't be doing this here. But right around that time, there were Zack Snyder's storyboards were in that atmosphere. Mm-hmm. Okay. Suddenly, you get Infinity War. You get a time travel heist in the end game. You get the 5 years later after everybody gets fucked up, and then you have Tony Stark in the end sacrificing his life. That was lifted from his storyboard, Zack Snyder. I don't care what anybody says.
You can't deny it at this point. You can't deny it.
Otherwise, the Russo brothers would still be on top and y'all would still be singing their praises. Suddenly, Zack Snyder leaves the school, takes his homework with him, takes all his books. Suddenly now this is what's happening. And not just them, but this has been happening to the MCU after he left, period. Now, you tell me why.
I could give you a guess.
This was part of Zack's plan. Zack was going to have Darkseid use the old ways, because obviously they destroyed the mother boxes, so he couldn't use the boom tube and come through. Did that. So he was going to use his ships to get there, just like he did the first time. He gets there, finds the anti-life equation, uses the Riddler to decode it. That smart motherfucker.
Wasn't the rumor that the Riddler blows his own brains out after
he did it? He blew his brains out, and then Lex was like, "Yo, kill Superman. He's powerful." Darkseid was like, "Fuck no, I don't want to kill that. That's power. I want to make him submit to me. I want him on my side." Lex told him how he can do it. Anybody remember how that was? How it went down? Lois Lane. She's the key. What did Diana say? She's the key to Superman, right? What did Darkseid do when he arrived on Earth? Boom tubed into Batman's fucking Batcave and killed her with his Omega beams. Superman arrived and he gave himself over to the anti-life equation just like that. He wasn't evil. People keep saying that. He wasn't evil. Imagine seeing somebody that happens to somebody that you care about deeply in front of you. You have no hope. No,
he was under Darkseid's influence.
No desire. Darkseid laid his hand on his shoulder, and guess what?
Took over.
And used Superman as a de facto dictator to run the planet.
But I just think it's funny, Charles, because it's like when somebody doesn't have somebody else's homework to copy anymore, all of a sudden their own work has to stand on its own.
And that's the problem. That goes to show you, this alone shows you the talent behind Zack Snyder. Say what you want about Rebel Moon, the numbers don't lie. Say what you want about Army of the Dead, the numbers don't lie. He brings a unique perspective to what he does, and he puts his all into it. So back to the Russo brothers. MCU getting cold feet about their best boys, their two best boys that ran MCU, that ran that first phase and that second phase and that third phase.
It wasn't cheap to get him back with RDJ, because how much did they have to spend? Like around 90 million, I believe, to get RDJ back.
Just for RDJ?
And I don't know how. I think was it just for RDJ or also for the Russos? I don't know. But bottom line is, and listen, I've been hearing that some people have liked the new movie, The Electric State, and that's fine. But here's the thing: what Charles said. Whose fucking homework are they going to copy now? Because, and it's funny because I would love Robert Meyer fucking Burnett to explain the storyboard right here. What is what we're seeing right here?
The Russos are reportedly getting $80 million to direct the upcoming Avengers Doomsday.
$80 million. Okay. Yeah. And 90 for RDJ. So that's, how much is that?
Actually, RDJ is actually $100 million.
Okay.
Well, there you go.
So $180 million for two films.
And that's besides everything else. That's besides production budget. That's besides marketing. That's besides everything else. Already almost $200 million. Right there.
Before a camera even starts rolling, guys, $200 million.
Oh, look at this. In order to get RDJ, they had to get the Russos brothers back. That was in RDJ's clause. So pretty much RDJ asked for the Russo brothers. But here's the thing, and I hold no grudge with RDJ whatsoever. He's a great actor. He's not, listen, the actors are not involved in this bullshit. So do not take it against the actors. I'm never going to attack the actors. I am going to attack their bosses. Because again, RDJ is worth the money. Don't get me wrong. After Oppenheimer, give the man whatever the fuck he asks for. But don't blame RDJ if Avengers fails, because it's not on him. Same thing with Superman Returns. Brandon Ruff, I like Brandon Ruff. Hell, when they brought him back in Legends of Tomorrow as Kingdom Come Superman, I was like, fuck yeah. But again,
he did that when he flew off from the planet and did that thing. Perfect.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Perfect.
So it's not the actors' fault here. So we're never, us as fans, we will never take it out on the actors. Now, if actors start talking shit at us, the fans, well, then the gloves are off.
And I'm pretty sure that already happened. But that already happened once with Shazam. What was his name?
Oh, Zachary Levi.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. So the example's been set.
Mm-hmm. So yeah. Again, maybe the movie. I haven't seen the Electro. I have no interest in watching it because that one's with Millie Brown, whatever her name is.
Millie Bobby Brown and
Millie
Chris
Bobby
Pratt.
Brown.
Yeah, and Chris Pratt. Listen, actors are hired to perform, but they're given a script, and they have to follow said script. And if that said script sucks, don't put it on the actors. Put it on the people who wrote it, the people who directed it, the people who produced it. Because if because if the MCU fails, well, I guess they're going to earn this one too.
You see this all the time at the level of a top producer who, between them or separately, will make flop after flop after flop after flop. I'm not going to name them, but I know who they are. And they're not all American either. And they still get paid huge sums of money for being in films that nobody wants to see. And producers make pictures out of which they take enormous sums of money. And the films, again, are not films people want to see. They're always going to blame somebody else. Always. Not their fault. No, you were the one who said, or whatever. And there's a word for that. It's called upward failure. You see it all the time.
I want to highlight something he said real quick. He said, again, these are films that nobody wants to see. Again, these are films that nobody wants to see. This is a prime example of a corporate studio doing what they want to do, damn what the people who give them the money say, because they want to copy somebody else. Now, something else I pointed out. Imagine you got a hankering for whatever your favorite whatever is. You're hungry. They tore that down. When you start driving up and down the block, all you see is Wendy's or McDonald's or Burger King or Taco Bell, whatever your flavor is, whatever your, or should I say your non-flavor is. And that's all you see on both sides of the road, every block you drive. I made a comment about this. Dark Horse, Image, Valiant. Those are some of the more mature, and there's some other ones like some gothic ones and Dracula, they get deep and dark. You're telling me that do you want to see humor and goofy shit in that type of writing and that type of storytelling? Why would I want to drive up and down the block looking at the same restaurants? Why would I want to do that?
No options.
Why would I not want to have options for myself? Just ask a simple, it's just a basic question. It has nothing to do really with CBM or anything like that. Ask yourself that basic question. What is so scary about having a variety of comic book storytelling in different tones? Got Marvel with their semi-dramas, kind of light family shit. You got DC with their more mature, more adult storytelling. You got a kiddie comic that tells kiddie stuff more geared towards, little kids or whatever, but it's a friendly comic. What's wrong with variety?
Dude, that's exactly why I don't buy that narrative of, James Gunn, his Superman would compete, or Snyder's Superman would compete. It would be some kind of competition. I don't buy it, bro, because at the end of the day, it's the same brand. All you're doing is maximizing your opportunity to make as much profit as possible.
It's like having different departments in a building, guys. That's all it is. It's a big building. One department is for Elseworlds. One department is for the mainline DCEU. One is for
Animated.
Animated. One is for all of you guys are making money. It isn't a competition, but that's the problem. James Gunn thinks it is.
So you're competing within your own brand. You're thinking it's a competition within your own brand, and it's not. You're giving everybody the flavors that they're asking for.
After all, DC was the king of the multiverse. It was theirs. It was their invention, and you let Marvel take it from you.
And
how's that feel?
It's basically what we're saying is you could have a version for the kiddies and a version for the adults. Why do you think HBO fucking exists? Every fucking Sunday, they show either Successions or True Blood or whatever.
Well, they used to have Sopranos back in the day, like HBO.
Exactly. So we can have both. So I don't want to hear this bullshit. Oh, because there's some contracts. Fuck you. Oh, they're getting too old. De-age them. AI.
The technology's there. The technology's not going anywhere. They did it with Luke Skywalker.
We're running out of excuses, guys. Or should I say, you are running out of
excuses. They did it. They did it with Iron Man.
When I say we, I mean you guys on the real DC fan side and the gun side. You're running out of excuses now.
Let me say it right here, and that's why he will not release the error cut, because he knows that version will wipe the fucking floor with the Suicide Squad.
Let me tell you something. Suicide Squad gave us Will Smith as Deadshot. He gave us his daughter in the film, not his real daughter, but and he gave us an interaction that was normal, that was family oriented, that was what a father should be to his daughter.
Mm-hmm.
James Gunn's Suicide Squad, we got Bloodsport, and we got his daughter yelling at him while he's in prison back and forth. Fuck you, no, fuck you, fuck you, no, fuck you.
Literally, you almost did it word for word there, Charles.
Bravo storytelling there. Bravo writing there. Oh, that's compelling. That's hard-hitting shit.
And you wonder why they canceled all the pre-sales of Bloodsport, because
that's immature ass James Gunn. And this is the type of shit that tickles y'all. I mean, just tickles you pink. How is that cinema? How is fuck you? No, fuck you. No, fuck you. Taser face. Taser face. Oh, but he's cooking, right?
And also,
I don't care if y'all scared to be adults. I don't care if y'all scared to be adults. I think you're children. I think you're whiny little 50, 60-year-old bitches who need to grow up, pull your fucking pants up, be a man or a woman, whatever it is, and realize you live in the real world. That's what you first need to do. Because it sounds like your mama and your daddy ain't doing a good job at showing you that. Grow up. 78 Superman was when I was this little, when I was here. I'm a grown-ass man now. I want to see different types of storytelling. I want to see all types of storytelling. That's how theater and all this other kind of shit began. That's how this whole thing with Hollywood started. That's what I want to see. Why am I giving my money away to see a Superman rendition that is nothing more than another Guardians of the Galaxy film? Sell it to me. Why do I want to see that? Can't sell that to me because that is not what I want to see. Yeah, there's a sliver of y'all that wants to see it. You immature crybabies who like to wear your feety pajamas and your helmets and your capes and shit like that.
Fantasizing about Lois's pink panties.
Fantasizing about Lois' pink panties. Looking at you, Robert Meyer Burnett.
But hey, Robert, if you want to see this,
60 years old, bro. Who?
If you want to see that, Robert, on July 11th, you're gonna get that. Have fun, enjoy it. That shit is gonna flop. You know that. I know that. All of us know that.
Dude, he's just wondering if they make him in Depend size for him.
I'd like to welcome everybody to the Lethal Geeks podcast and on to X Twitter, but I swear to fucking God, y'all keep coming in my threads, man, talking shit. I'm gonna talk to you like I'm your daddy. And I'm gonna do it all the time.
And he's gonna do it on camera, not some keyboard warrior.
So be forewarned. I ain't keyboard warden. You can see my fucking face and you can look into my eyes. You know what I look like. If you want to come down here and whoop my ass, you're certainly welcome to try. Otherwise, stay the fuck off my threads and stay the fuck off the Lethal Geeks with that bullshit. Because if you come in there, I'm going to chop your ass up and then I'm going to send you on your way. And I'm going to keep doing it until you get the point. We are here for everybody, but if you don't want to be a part of this shit, get the fuck on out and stay off our threads. We don't have time for that immature bullshit, Robert Meyer Burnett. We don't have time for that immature bullshit, Jody's Corner. We don't have time for that immature bullshit, Truth 31. We don't have time for that bullshit. Matthew Day. We don't get paid to do this shit. We are here for a cause, for a reason, and we believe in it.
And that makes us more dangerous.
So you want to come at me and keep coming at us with that bullshit? Come on. I am tired of being nice. I am tired of trying to welcome everybody here when all you do is slide up in here and talk shit. I don't know if you paid. I don't know if WB paying you. You probably are. I don't know if Gunn paying you. Probably are. But you are not going to come in here disrespecting people, disrespecting us on our chat, disrespecting us in Lethal Geeks Precinct, disrespecting us on what we're trying to build. All we are doing is trying to get a successful director's arc finished. That's it. And you don't have to hear from us again about this bullshit.
Trust me, we would love to come on here and just talk about shit we love, bro. We would love to come on here every single weekend and talk about what we love.
I am tired of James Gunn being a subject of discussion every time I turn around. I'm sick of it. And the only reason he is because you motherfuckers keep showing up in our threads to talk that shit. Celebrate what you love. Celebrate what you love. That's my advice to you. If you like James Gunn, celebrate it. Stay in your threads, make your own podcast about James Gunn, and do your thing. Run with it. But when we have an opinion about Zack Snyder and what we want to see, stay the fuck off our threads if you ain't got nothing good to say.
What's hilarious is you don't see us going over to their podcasts and talking shit about James.
Jump to those motherfuckers' threads to do that.
I've never once done that.
You like James Gunn? Cool. You know, I pass through hundreds of threads every day talking about James Gunn. I don't respond to him unless it was a direct thread from our fucking side. I let you have your thing. You love Zack. You love James Gunn. Love him. Love that immature shit. Do your thing, but don't dare come over here and say the Snyderverse is dead, and then talking about his daughter or talking about his family. I bet you wouldn't say that bullshit in real life, would you?
Or to his face.
You would get knocked the fuck out. Real shit.
That's the problem. Too many people in this generation don't even know what it's like to get knocked the fuck out. They've never experienced it.
And listen, honestly, if this shit keeps going, people are gonna learn.
I am disappointed that these older folks should know better, like Robert Meyer Burnett, and he's become a keyboard warrior himself. I'm not hiding behind my keyboard. I'm not hiding behind some faceless avatar. If you want to come in here and talk about geek shit, comic shit, movies, TV shows, whatever the fuck you want to talk about, if it's in this atmosphere, we can talk about it. But if you can't be mature, if you can't be an adult, if you can't stop lying, then don't come in here. Stay off of our threads. Let us do our thing. Because if you keep coming at us, I'm going to keep coming at you. And again, it ain't Rocks. I'm going to tell you right now, I'm going to relieve them of that responsibility. It's not Mr. Leo Gets Rock Talks. It's not Phil. It's not Sergeant Riggs. It's me that you're going to be dealing with. Because it's been me the whole time you've been dealing with. So everything that you see in those threads has been me. You want to fucking do something about it? Come do something about it. or stay the fuck out of my threads.
I fucking love it, Charles.
And let me do my thing. And let us do our thing. And let us have what the fuck we want. Otherwise, I'm not going to stop. I'm going to find out. I'm going to go to your fucking pages. I'm going to call your asses out. And I'm going to talk to you like your daddy and spank you like your daddy until you've had enough. Until you learn the responsibilities of what an adult should be. And I'm through.
All right, guys.
One last topic, and then we're gonna.
Yeah, we're rolling on 3 hours, guys.
Your ass, bitch ass motherfucker. I really, really do, and won't do that shit in real life. I'm sorry. Go ahead, bro. We passed through.
All right.
We forgot to talk about Gal, man. We still got one more.
We're gonna talk about. Okay, we're gonna talk about Gal real quick, and then 2 more topics, but these are short ones. So
yeah.
Wonder Woman. Our Wonder Woman got her freaking star.
So Miss Gal Gadot herself, Gal Gadot. Gal Gadot?
Gadot.
Gal Gadot.
Gadot.
It is Gadot, isn't it?
It's
I've been calling
Gadot.
her Gadot the whole time with the by making the T silent.
Or like Henry Cavill.
It's like Gal Gadot.
So, Zack Snyder's Wonder Woman. Yes, Zack Snyder, who cast Henry Cavill, who cast Ray Fisher, who cast Wayne T. Carr, which unfortunately we haven't seen his scene, but we will eventually.
Who cast Jason Momoa?
Ben fucking Affleck, the goddamn Batman. Gal Gadot finally got her star in the Hollywood, on the Walk of Fame. And the only thing that's upsetting to me, and I said this to you guys privately, is where the fuck is Zack?
Mm-hmm.
Because Patty didn't make, because Vin Diesel, shout out to you, Vin. Yes, Vin did give Gal a shot at Fast and Furious franchise. So him being there, abso-fucking-lutely.
Makes sense. Yeah.
Patty. Why is Patty there?
Wonder Woman.
She was a director. Bro.
She was the director of the first Wonder Woman. We got to be fair.
You got to give her that.
That's fine. I'll give her that. But she didn't make her a fucking megastar. It was Zack fucking Snyder. And he should be there also with his Wonder Woman. That's the only criticism I have for W fucking BD. I don't know how they select the stars.
Yeah,
Let me finish. Bottom line is, I am very proud and happy for you, Gal, that you got your star, because well deserved.
Mm-hmm.
It pisses me the fuck off that people keep saying, "Oh, she can't act, she can't sing, she can't." Listen, I don't give 3 fucking shits. I like Gal, and I'm going to keep supporting Gal. I'm not going to watch Snow White not because I don't want to see Gal succeed, because I've seen her other shit. I don't want to see Snow White.
Rachel Zegler.
Thank you. So, and I do expect Gal to be returning as Wonder Woman when the time comes, because she doesn't age.
She looks great, bro. She looks great.
And she has 4 kids.
Yeah,
that's crazy, dude.
Congratulations, Gal.
Congrats.
Yep. All right, man. Let's wrap this up.
All right. Final. It's pretty much it's a reminder to everybody. We have a trending event, another one coming up, because as we said in the Lethal Geeks podcast, we support all campaigns, because as long as it stays positive, it's not harassing or attacking or offending or bullying people, then we're going to support it.
Mm-hmm.
Because if somebody starts bullshitting, then we're going to call it the fuck out, and we're not going to support it, and we will ban that person, he or she or they. So that being said, let me pull this up. Here it is. Release the Haircut trending event coming March 27th.
Nice. I like that little advertisement they did with the hashtag release the error cut flipping. That's really cool.
Yeah.
So I want to give a shout out to whoever made that.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. So yeah, guys, this was a long one tonight, and we did talk a lot, but also today we are celebrating Zack Snyder's Justice League, which is the Snyderverse, and the Ayer cut is part of the Snyderverse. And this movie will get released sooner or later. Wayne T. Carr, shout out to you, Wayne, will get his scene released sooner or later. And we're not going to fucking stop WBD, James Gunn, Robert fucking Meyer Burnett, James fucking Campia.
John.
We are not going to stop.
John Campia.
Please no, we are not. Well, his what his name is inconsequential here at this point, so I don't give a shit. We are not going to stop asking for what we want because we paid our money for this shit. It's that simple. Zack Snyder was not in it for anything else other than to let his vision, his passion be seen by fans of his. That's what he's in it for. He's not in it for the money. He's not in it for the toys, although that's been a benefit for us, obviously.
And you got to think, Zack's certainly at the point in his career right now where he doesn't need the money.
No, of course not.
He doesn't need the money.
No.
He
even said it. 300 was a complete labor of love. He said it on the Joe Rogan podcast.
Zack Snyder's Justice League was a complete labor of love. He got no extra funding personally to finish that film.
So we stand on business here and we stand on principle. Now there's this thing called principle, and I'm not talking about principle within directors and CBM and all this. I mean principles, period. Business, period. It seems like you guys these days don't know what that means. I'm old school. So when we say we stand on business and stand on principle, we mean exactly that. Standing on business and standing on principle means you are standing by your word. You are not just following the who's doing what. You are standing on what you believe in. I believe that when someone is done wrong, that wrong should be righted. In all walks, in all crosses across of life, in every aspect of life. When someone is did wrong, that should be made right. Don't care how you do it, but it should be done. Zack Snyder did not get to finish his universe simply because he made a film that you did not understand and you shunned him for it. It was cowardly, it was unprofessional, and it needs to be corrected. If you want DC and WBD as a whole to succeed again, make it right. I don't care how you make it right, just make it right.
And if you ain't going to do it, sell it to Netflix. Please.
That's simple.
Please sell it. Sell it. Netflix, Amazon, I don't care. Sell it.
I will say this. Zack Snyder is a very cryptic man. Zack Snyder also believes in the old ways, meaning that, and so does Christopher Nolan, you won't know what's up until it's time for you to know what's up. Hence why you don't hear anything related to Zack Snyder generally, and he just suddenly will pop something up on his Vero. He does not hang out in X Twitter. And for him to acknowledge, again, shout out to Floyd Lawton Deadshot. Again, for him to pop up in X Twitter, he has a Twitter page, but he's hardly ever there. For him to show up and retweet what he posted about selling Zack Snyder's Justice League to Netflix, and y'all trying to tell me Zack Snyder moved on? Zack Snyder has to tell us himself that he has moved on. That's when we'll move on.
When Zack says, I'm done with DC, we'll be done with
DC. You won't see anything else from us. But until such time as he says that, we're here. We're not going anywhere, guys. So you can either make peace with us and just say, you know what, this is fucking stupid. Or you can keep running into our threads, doing the same old things you're doing, and I'm going to come right back after you, and I'm going to keep doing it until you get the point. We stand on business here, and we stand on principle. Learn to fight for something. Because y'all don't fight for shit these days. I don't care what it is in your life. I'm not talking about just this stuff. I mean, in general, in your life. Learn to stand for something. That's why we're here, because we believe in standing for something, no matter how innocuous or idiotic you might think it is. We're here. We're standing on business because business is something to stand on, to be proud of.
And learn to work hard for what you want to stand for. I can't stress that enough. You have to work hard for what you want. What we are doing here, what these campaign movements are doing, this is not easy. This is hard, dedicated work.
It's that simple. And if you're not putting in that work, I don't believe you're a real person.
By the way, the only studio I will not accept DC is in fucking Disney. So that's the only.
But DC can't. But DC can't. There's business rules in place that can't. DC can't do it. They can't do it.
Well, they're gonna try. They're gonna try, but
they're gonna try, but they would have to let something go. Think about it. They already got the MCU. They already got Star Wars. They can't get the DCU. They can't.
I don't know, Charles. I'm pretty sure if WB wanted to sell this shit off in parts, I think they could probably bid on just DC. And that's been my theory. I mean, I've spoken about this before. My theory going on is that Gunn has been a plant since day one. He was put there to make DC be as least valuable as possible, to drive it down.
All of this would make sense if that were true, wouldn't it? Mm-hmm. All of it would make sense. All of it would make sense. If it turns out that this man was actually a fucking plant, it would all come together and it would all make sense. That simple.
So
either way, guys, like we said, release the air cut event coming. So guys, get your hashtags ready because the fight ain't over. We've won many battles. The war is not over. We've lost battles as well, of course. That's why this is a fucking war. And we're going to keep fighting until we get what we've been asking for. So in the meantime, guys, while it's closed, just like my boy, Harsh Critics. And Harsh Critics, if you're watching, dude, we want you here also, brother.
While it's closed. It's that simple. No Snyderverse, no money.
No money.
That simple. So I'd like to thank everybody in the chat. This was episode 19 of the Lethal Geeks podcast with our special guest, Wayne T. Carr. Thank you. Shout out to Wayne T. Carr again for stopping by. Final thoughts, Rocks.
Wow, man. This was a remarkable episode. It was a testament, I think, to all the hard work that we've put in here at the Lethal Geeks. So I really want to thank Wayne T. Carr, obviously, for taking the time out of his Saturday evening to be here with us, to have these conversations with us, these conversations that need to be had. Thank you so much for being here. And I want to also thank Phil, buddy. None of this tonight would have been possible without you. We owe you so much.
Sure.
So much,
Appreciate
bro.
it, man.
We love you. Thank you. Thank you so much, buddy.
Thank you. Thank you.
Phil.
We're proud of you also, Gilmore Girls. If you know, you know. Again, shout out to you, Wayne. Thank you very much for it was such a huge honor to meet you when you came here to town. And yeah, I went to see his show twice and hang out with him. I even drove into the airport, guys. I offered myself out of my own time to get up early in the morning before going to the gym, drive this man to the airport. He could have taken an Uber, but it's like, no, allow me. And not because I wanted to kiss ass, or no, because it generally was born in me. Let me drive you. That's cool.
And you got to know the man.
And I got to know the man. I got his number, literally. I'm not going to share it, of course. And I consider him a friend, and I'm definitely going to be reaching out to him, not to talk geek shit, but obviously to check out with us how he is with his family, etc. And again, Wayne, open invitation. Your next project coming up, whatever, and also any actors who know Wayne, who saw his interview, please, listen. We're not just a geek podcast, yes, but we also like to talk films.
Films, pop culture, anything within the zeitgeist.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
So, open invitation for us. Brett Colbert, shout out to you, Brett. Also, we had you last year, man. Also, just a reminder, man, open invitation to you as well, brother. So guys, I'm so grateful for you guys who have joined us. It's been a great stream, and we've got more surprises coming in the pipeline. And shout out to you, Sarah, for winning. I got your message on our DM, so I will be mailing you your copy this week. So
Real
absolutely.
quick, Phil, I know we like to give the we like to invite the actors out, but I also want to extend the invitation to people who work in Hollywood. Are you a director?
Yes.
Are you a producer? Or anything that's involved with film? If that's what you do,
Absolutely.
we want to talk to you.
Stop by, man. Stop by the Lethal Geeks, man. Come to our page, and if you're listening and you are out there, you are aspiring directors, actors, whatever. Come on by. We'd love to chop it up with you.
Yeah. Awesome. I think,
right.
Charles, your final thoughts, buddy.
My final thoughts is this, man. Look, y'all listen. Y'all hear me rant all the time. I rant on X all the time. Look, I wouldn't be here if I wasn't passionate about this shit. Okay. Zack Snyder gave me something that I never seen before, and I want him to finish it. That is why we are all here. We want to see his version finished. That is the only reason why we are so passionate about this stuff. I don't want anybody to think that they don't have a place with us. It's a simple rule. It's real simple. Just don't disrespect what we believe in. It's that simple. You can talk to me about anything you want. You can talk to Rox about anything you want. You can talk to Phil about anything you want. You can say why you don't like DC. You can say why you do like James Gunn. But let it be authentic. Let it be true when you open your mouth. Because if you don't do that, you're disrespecting me. You're disrespecting Rox. You're disrespecting Phil. You're disrespecting the chat.
And our guest.
And our guests, and you're not being honest. And that is my problem. That is why I am so keyed up and passionate about this shit. Because I don't like liars. I don't like people who shill, who get paid just to create an account and to lie and to be the lowest form of life on earth just to start some bullshit. You are too old for that. So be an adult. You want to talk? You want to talk about geek culture? You want to talk about comics? You want to talk about movies, films? Let's chop it up. But don't come on these threads in Twitter, in Lethal Geeks, or on this podcast, showing up, talking crap. Because you will get dealt with. In the meantime, I want to thank everybody who came by tonight. We had a load of people in the chat. We apologize if we didn't get to.
Oh, by the way, Charles,
yes.
before you say anything, I think this person needs to be made an example. 1 second here. Let me pull this up.
Okay. Bat Knight, James Gunn Superman doesn't need your money, so keep your wallets closed. Nobody cares. James Gunn Superman movie will do well at the box office. So let me start with your syntax there, Mr. Bat Knight. Where are your commas, your periods, your this conjunction junction? What's your function? What is all of this shit?
Matthew Day, that motherfucker, Charles.
What's all that, Bat Knight? Put up for me to understand that. Put a couple periods in there, some commas. Break that syntax down for me.
And by the way,
he doesn't need our money, but he needs all the help and the hope he can get, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's
okay. How much is he paying you, Bat Knight?
I was gonna say, just remember, bro, you're here. We're not on your show. We're not in your threads.
We're not on your show,
here, bro.
Now remember what I just said. You just came on our show to talk shit. I'm sorry. Do you know James Gunn? Do y'all sit and drink coffee together and chop it up? Because you talk like you know him personally. How do you know he don't need our money?
Maybe it's
trust me, he needs our money. He needs our money.
Tell me that, Bat Knight. You know what we are on Twitter. Why don't you run down your list of reasons why he won't need our money? Why David Zaslav won't need our money? Run it down for me. How old are you, Bat Knight? Come on, is he responding? What happened?
No response. I think it might be Robert Myers' burner.
Again, guess who's hiding behind a Robert Pattinson Batman picture? You're hiding your face.
And you're showing for a company that's probably not even going to go through with the Batman 2, bro. Just throwing that out there.
Let me tell you something, Bat Knight. Superman is going to get eviscerated at the box office. Do you know that word eviscerated If you don't know it, why don't you look it up in the dictionary? It's worse than obliterated.
Look, it's going to be worth less pennies.
If you have nothing to offer or nothing to say, you are a blip on the radar.
Oh, he's back. You're a minority, not the majority. We're a minority.
Are we?
We're a minority.
Hold on.
Who's the majority? Who's the majority? Tell me who the majority is, Bad Night.
Trust me, brother. Come July, you guys are going to find out.
Majority then. Your fans, are they the majority? You have no idea how well Cavill is liked, do you? You have no idea. You're the minority, not the majority. I'm going to go put my pants on and go get my mommy.
Probably some guy in his mommy's basement, but whatever, dude. Anyway, Bat Night.
Come up, Bat Night.
Bat Night, you know what? If you like Gunn, go enjoy it. Because he's going to need your money. Like, a lot of it. Because this is going to be...
See that ball pennies right there? That's how much... That's WBD stock right now. Here you are.
Shilling for pennies, bro. Shilling for pennies.
Give me an N. Give me an N. What does that spell? It spells potential pedo.
And this is how much Netflix is worth. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 920, 940.
I'll tell you about that. If you ever want to wrestle with me again, if you ever want to wrestle with this old man again, you let me know. You know who I am now. Oh, by the way, I use grease and I wrestle butt naked.
Charles is gonna get the baby oil out.
I'm putting the baby oil out for you. That's it for me, guys. Let's go ahead and shut it down.
All right. First of all, Bat Night, go fuck yourself. You're banned.
I'm not playing around with y'all anymore. I tried to be nice. See, I explained myself, and here comes Bat Night at the last minute, at the 11th hour, talking crazy. So here we go. Let the games begin. Fellas, it has been one hell of a stream. I want to thank you guys again for showing up. Everybody in the chat, make sure you hit that like, subscribe, notification bell. Help that algorithm out. Thank you again for stopping by. This has been episode 19 of the Lethal Geeks featuring Wayne T. Carr as John Stewart's Green Lantern. You guys have a great night.
Good night, ladies and gentlemen.
See you in 2 weeks, boys and girls.
Peace.
I don't know what to say, really. 3 minutes till the biggest battle of our professional lives. All comes down to today. And either we heal as a team, or we're gonna crumble. Inch by inch, play by play, till we're finished. We're in hell right now, gentlemen. Believe me. And we can stay here, get the shit kicked out of us, or we can fight our way back into the light. We can climb out of hell. 1 inch at a time. Now, I can't do it for you. I'm too old. I look around, I see these young faces, and I think, I mean, I made every wrong choice a middle-aged man can make. I pissed away all my money, believe it or not. I chased off anyone who's ever loved me. And lately, I can't even stand the face I see in the mirror. You know, when you get old in life, things get taken from you. I mean, that's part of life. But you only learn that when you start losing stuff. You find out life's this game of inches. So is football. Because in either game, life or football, the margin for error is so small. I mean, one half a step too late or too early, and you don't quite make it. 1/2 second too slow, too fast, you don't quite catch it. The inches we need are everywhere around us.
Hell yeah.
They're in every break of the game, every minute, every second. On this team, we fight for that inch. On this team, we tear ourselves and everyone else around us to pieces for that inch. We claw with our fingernails for that inch. Because we know when we add up all those inches, that's gonna make the fucking difference between winning and losing. Between living and dying. I'll tell you this, in any fight, it's the guy who's willing to die who's gonna win that inch. And I know if I'm gonna have any life anymore, it's because I'm still willing to fight and die for that inch. Because that's what living is. The 6 inches in front of your face. Now I can't make you do it. You gotta look at the guy next to you. Look into his eyes. Now I think you're gonna see a guy who will go that inch with you. You're gonna see a guy who will sacrifice himself for this team because he knows when it comes down to it, you're gonna do the same for him. That's a team, gentlemen. And either we heal now as a team, or we will die as individuals. That's football, guys. That's all it is. Now, what are you gonna do?